Anyway, I've been listening to a lot of, not a lot, but I've just been listening to music lately. You know, I've been listening to mostly stuff. I've recently gotten into Billie Eilish because I kind of slept on her for a long time.
You've been sleeping on the girl Billie.
I've been sleeping on the girl Billie. I was waiting until she turned 18.
Of course.
No, but I don't know. I'm not a huge music fan, so I'm not really up and with everything. But I really like a lot of her stuff.
She's good, yeah.
Yeah, I feel something really weird, and I don't know if this is something that I'm sure somebody said this before. And this isn't to like insult Billie Eilish or anything. Like this is a compliment, but Billie Eilish really feels like today's Britney Spears. Do you get that?
No.
And what I'm saying is go listen to Toxic, Toxic by Britney Spears, and then slow it down to like half speed. Dun, dun, dun,
So you're telling me that Billie
yeah,
is a Britney Spears copy. She's a faker.
no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying she is the Britney Spears of like the modern
But
day.
you just told me to slow down Toxic.
Yeah, and it sounds
sounds like Billie Eilish, which means that she's just slowing down early 2000s pop.
No, that's not what I mean. Even though if you did speed up her songs, I mean, it would sound a lot more pop-ish,
So she's a faker.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that
You heard it here first.
she's an icon for young women to look up to is what I'm saying. Because even Britney Spears really likes Billie Eilish. She was
Yeah, when she went to prison, iconic.
Billie Eilish went to prison?
No, Britney Spears.
Oh, no. I'm pretty sure they're actually big fans of each other. I think Billie Eilish is a big Britney Spears fan, and Britney Spears is a big Billie Eilish fan.
Cool.
But
Better
I
be a Billie
do
Eilish
see
fan.
when you listen to Toxic Slow Down, I'm like, I hear a little Billie in that, I think it's cool for artists to influence. Because, I mean, really, when you think about it, literally every artist is always influencing each other. It's like, is there such a thing as an original thought anymore? Like, everything's an influence from something else, like even movies, it's like, oh, this shot is reference to this movie from 1932.
Right.
It's like, what is real anymore? There's so much media, and it's only been recorded for such a short amount of time, but we've already basically run out of ideas.
It do be like that.
It do. Anyway, this is the Stagler, episode 5.
Cinco de Stagler.
And we have a good show for you today.
Hopefully.
We're going to be talking about prequels, prequel movies, prequel shows, prequel whatever. And
Prequel.
What?
Prequel.
Is that how you say it?
Some might say.
Anyway, this week, or this episode, this fortnight, as we always say,
Fortnite.
I'm gonna be starting off this fortnight saying what I've been doing for the past 2 weeks.
What have you been doing?
What have I been doing? Well, I've been doing a lot of life stuff. I'll be real. It's just I've been setting up stuff for the podcast, and I've been just getting certain affairs in order, and I've been doing a lot of writing. Actually, I've been doing a lot of like screenwriting and stuff like that. Nothing substantial. Actually, I seriously am working on something a lot lately that I really want to get working on, like within the next 3 months, at least like start actual production on, and hopefully have it finished by like the end of the year. I'm shooting for, just giving myself a deadline, but
cool.
That's a personal thing. We don't need to get into that.
Yeah.
But I did watch a few things. Very little, actually. Battlestar Galactica continues. I have one thing to say about it,
okay.
And that's it. I have a suspicion that Gaius Baltar, who is my favorite character, and he was from the beginning.
Okay.
I have a weird suspicion that he is the only character that matters. In like the grand scheme of things, I have a weird feeling that like his role is basically gonna be everything is up to him.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a good. It could go either way, but I really feel like Gaius Baltar is gonna be the crux of the entire show by the end of it.
Okay.
Like he's gonna end up being like the main character, quote unquote. You know. But we'll see. That continues. Still enjoying it. Taking a little bit longer than I thought, just because this has been a rough week for me.
Yeah.
Other than that, I watched something weird. As you guys may know, HBO Max has come out.
Yes.
It is available.
Yes, it has.
And I know both of us got HBO Max subscriptions because, we're little
Spoiler alert,
piggies
really good
for media. Or little oink oink, eat up all the movies and goodies. Anyway, So there's all these movies, a bunch of movies I haven't seen, a bunch of TV shows, everything that it's all new to me. It's a new streaming service, all this new stuff. So I decided to watch something I've already seen like 50 times.
Sure.
And that's Gremlins 2, The New Batch.
Yeah.
Directed by Joe Dante, I think. I don't know.
Sure.
Because they also had Piranha from like 1978, and Joe Dante was in that movie.
Wow.
As like an extra.
I didn't know that.
I know, what crazy facts. Anyway, Gremlins 2, fantastic film. Oh my, incredible. I love that movie. I love Gremlins 2, The New Batch. I love Gremlins as well.
Okay.
Have you seen Gremlins?
Yes.
What do you think of Gremlins?
It's all right.
You think it's all right?
It's all right.
Gremlins holds
They're kind of cute.
a dear place in my heart because I was always the type of kid, like I loved Courage the Cowardly Dog. Gremlins. I loved Goosebumps and stuff like that. Yeah. I love that horror centered kids media, you know. And Gremlins was like on the far end of that because she puts it in like a microwave and it blows up.
Gremlins. Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Rough. And so I've always just been into that kind of horror theme stuff, and it got me into being a horror head, if you will, later in life for me.
Yeah.
Gremlins 2: The New Batch is like. It is like a satire of the first movie. It actually directly pokes fun at the first movie, like multiple times throughout the runtime, and every single one is actually pretty hilarious. Like the Abraham Lincoln bit, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking to you when I say that.
Oh,
because I assume you haven't seen Gremlins 2: The New Batch.
Maybe.
Right. Okay. Well, it's terrific. It's got Rambo in it. It's got the Grandpa Fred or whatever. He shows a clip from Octoman, which is like a Mexican American film about an octopus monster. Oh, anyway, it's a really good movie. I recommend it to anybody. I could have watched Studio Ghibli films. Could have watched Ponyo, which I've never seen. I could have
Ponyo,
watched Howl's Moving Castle, right?
Sure.
I've never seen that. Nope. Gremlins 2, The New Batch. That's what I decided to do with my time. For the 5th time, by the way.
Good for you.
Anyway.
Keep doing you.
Other than that,
be yourself.
I watched one other thing, and it was something that, I don't know, is a little out of my ballpark usually. I say that, but I feel like maybe that's not true. I watched an anime film.
Ew, anime. Boo. Ew, gross.
Can you tell me what's on the back of your laptop?
What are you talking about?
Okay. And it was Your Name was the anime movie I watched. Your Name, period. There's a period in the title. And it's a sweet movie. It's like a romance movie. It kind of has some twists and turns.
Wait, so the movie's name is Nick? That's the title? I'm sorry. I'll see myself out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to respond to that one. Okay, but it was Your Name, and it's a sweet. It's maybe a little too sweet. I don't know. I listened to the subtitled version, of course.
Oh, you read?
Yeah, I read. I do.
Gross.
And I remember hearing a lot of good things about this movie when it came out. A lot.
Yes.
And just to be really upfront, I liked it. I liked it a lot. But, I guess I was expecting like a little bit more. I felt like certain parts of the movie were definitely rushed because it's something that I feel like I'm seeing more often lately. Maybe that's just me noticing it more, where characters form relationships almost off screen. And it's not just an anime. It's in like a bunch of media. Where it's like, oh yeah, we tell you these characters are like in love or these characters have this really deep bond, but we never really showed you. We just kind of told you when you bought it, Yes. And I feel like this suffers from that a little bit. And I think the last act is a little bit rushed, but it is a remarkably beautifully animated.
Right,
it's like over 2 hours of like hand-drawn animation. It's really beautiful. So I can see why a lot of people are, struck by that. And yeah, I don't have much to say about it. It's the director. I think it's Makoto Shinkai, if I'm saying that correctly. Seems like a really talented guy. He's done a lot of other films that kind of seem to take the same shape. It's like adolescents meeting each other and having like a distant relationship, which is fine. That's your thing. I don't know. I'd recommend it. I think you would like it. I do.
I'll definitely check it out sometime.
It's sweet, and it's not too sweet. Just perfect amount of sweet. With a little bit of in there. Right in the middle, there's a big gut punch, and you're like, wow, okay. I enjoyed that. And then the last thing is, this is kind of weird, and I feel I'm so sorry that I keep bringing up, like, David Lynch.
Hey. You need to follow your dreams.
I know. Well, when you have a
Talk
a
about
favorite
what you
director
love.
or whatever. But this is an accident because I ordered this movie like before the first episode, I think, and it only just now arrived. But I ordered Twin Peaks: Fire Walk with Me, which guess what was the prequel to Twin Peaks, and it arrived
What?
in time for this episode.
What?
What is that timing? You know.
The stars have aligned.
But yeah, I bought that. It's dope, and that's my week.
Well, on the contrary,
Okay.
I did quite a bit,
Sure. Yeah.
I would say. I'll start off. I came across a DS, like the original DS.
Yes, you
like
did.
the real clunker.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, I don't know. I lost all my DS games and my Game Boy games. But I remember there was this one game I had
Mm-hmm.
way back.
Tony Hawk Skate with the eight.
No, it was a Game Boy Advance game. Because,
okay.
the DS can play the Game
Right.
Boy Advance games.
Original ones.
And it was like a racing game. And it was like a top-down racer. And I remember loving it so much.
What was it called?
I didn't know.
Oh, okay.
So I took to the internet, of course. The internet's super helpful.
Yes.
And I just Googled top-down Game Boy Advanced racing
Racer,
games.
yeah.
Boom. It popped up. I instantly recognized it, of course.
Right.
I go to eBay. I'm like, Racing Gears Advance.
Racing Gears Advance.
I find it. This one dude has it. Literally the only one I could find. The very last one. And I bought it.
Are you gonna tell
For
us
$30.
$30
For a game for a Game Boy Advance game from 2004.
Hey, not really that bad. $30. You could get a lot worse than $30.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I'm surprised that you felt confident enough in how much you liked it that $30 you're like, yeah, I gotta have it. But
Yes.
more power to
Well,
you.
I also looked up Drome Racers. Do you ever play Drome Racers?
No.
Incredible game.
Game Boy Advance?
Yes. I didn't even know it was on the Game Boy Advance. I played it on the computer.
Gotcha.
But on eBay, that thing was going for $90, $100. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay. We're not
And
gonna do
is that mint or used?
I don't know. It was just that's what I saw.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, we'll click off that real quick. And then I also picked up Pokemon Platinum. That was one of the ones I'd never played before.
That gets really expensive. Those
It
get
wasn't.
super expensive.
It was only like
there's a lot of bootlegs of those going around, and that's the ones that sell for cheaper. So
It was
you should be careful.
It was like $30.
I saw some Pokemon games going like I have a Pokemon White for the DS, right? And I saw that online going for like $120.
It's a lot.
I know. I thought it was insane, but I guess Nintendo just doesn't do a lot of prints. I guess I don't know, and they always, But be careful with that. Be careful with that.
Well, we'll see. It was supposed to come today, but I haven't looked at the mail. So
scary. Maybe
we'll see. I also pre-ordered
Mm.
on the Criterion. I'll say what I pre-ordered Portrait of a Lady on Fire Criterion.
As did I. I pre-ordered it in March.
I just now pre-ordered it, but I
Yes.
also pre-ordered a war film called Come and See,
Mm-hmm.
which I've always been interested in, and I can't find it anywhere.
Right.
So I'm just like, okay, I'll just buy it.
Yeah.
So we'll see what that's about. But I want to get this off my chest. I feel like Criterion Channel is corrupting me as a human being, and it makes me not want to buy a movie
Right.
unless it's Criterion.
I can understand that. Have you ever thought of doing they have a service, do they not?
They do.
Have you ever thought of just going for that? So you could, for movies like Come and See.
But I like having...
I know,
the
but
physical.
for a movie like Come and See, you could watch it first, and then if you like it, be like, oh, okay, I gotta have this.
I'm confident that I'll like it.
Okay, that's good.
So
I don't know if every movie on Criterion's like actually good.
no, but I know like some people that I respect,
Yeah.
and they talk highly of it. So yeah.
Okay.
I also finished the first Dune. I didn't finish the book, but there's it's divided into 3 parts. So I finished the first part of Dune.
Gotcha.
And I know Denis said that when he's adapting the book that he's going to do it in 2 movies, I think he said.
Yeah, I think that was the plan.
So I don't know where he's going to split it at, because there's 3 parts in the book, so it's kind of strange. But finishing the first part, that could easily be a movie, I
Right.
think. We'll see. But It starts off. It's really, really good, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get like halfway through the first part, like 120 pages or something, there's a part like it's really interesting all the way up until they go on like this one mission to like go. Well, they're not really a mission. They're going to like see something, and then every single chapter after that, like the next like 12 chapters is just. I was like,
really, in
bro,
there?
this is so good.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to read the rest of that and to see the adaptation this December.
Yeah, before December. I know you have plans, but I also have plans. We have to watch the other Dune. Just see where that falls, because people aren't very nice about that movie. It's very highly critiqued, and I don't know. I've never seen it.
We'll see.
I've been scared to see it, so
that's your man too.
Exactly. I purposely
Lynchmeister.
ignored it, and I'm not gonna love it. Like, I know that I'm not gonna love it, but hopefully I'll be able to at least find some things that I like.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
And I watched some movies and some TV.
Okay.
We'll start off with the movies. I watched The Bling Ring. You ever heard of The Bling Ring?
No.
Bling Ring. Sofia Coppola. You know who that is?
Yes.
Sofia Coppola directed a movie called The Bling Ring. It's a story about like this group of teenagers who are like super fame obsessed in the Hollywood Hills. And
I'm here in the Hollywood Hills.
It's based on a true story. I didn't know this happened, but
Okay.
I think it's like late 2000s, maybe early 2010s. These group of teenagers would like find out where celebrities lived on Google, and then they would find out when like those celebrities are going to be gone from their homes.
Oh.
And they would go and they would break into their homes and steal their stuff.
Wow. Okay.
And obviously they would like document all of it and be like, yo, look at this.
That's pretty smart.
Because they want to be,
Bling ringed.
noticed.
Yeah.
And it was okay. Well, okay, no, it wasn't okay. It was good.
Okay.
But I feel like a lot of people really don't like this movie. Probably because it's really annoying. This movie's really annoying because it's just full of a bunch of really annoying white girls.
Yeah.
And it's just, But there are some things that I really enjoyed about it. The soundtrack is fire. That like late 2000s soundtrack is really good. There's a scene that I really enjoyed where they're robbing a house.
Right.
But it's all one take, but it's not like a tracking shot or anything. It's just a wide of the house.
Oh.
And it's framed really cleverly so you can like see every room in the house, and you just kind of like watch them like walk around from like way back, and it like very, very, very slowly zooms in. And I just thought that was really cool. And it's like 5-6 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. And the other thing that I've really much enjoyed is Emma Watson's performance. Emma Watson is in this movie.
Okay, thank you.
She is one of the Bling Ring girls.
Bling ringers.
And she's so annoying in it. And I feel like that is good.
Yeah, okay.
She plays the perfect annoying white girl.
But do you think
really good?
Do you think the annoyingness is to the detriment of the do you think they overdid it? Because obviously the characters are meant to be annoying. But do you actually think like if you were making the movie you would tone it down a little bit?
No.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
That is good.
But I feel like that's why most people are like, man, I don't really like this too much.
It's just
too
people
annoying.
couldn't take. Yeah.
But yeah, and overall I thought it was alright. It was pretty good. I would definitely check it out.
Okay.
And another movie I saw, I don't know if you've seen this, The Death of Stalin.
Oh yeah, I had a friend. Actually, you know what? I was gonna watch this movie. It was on my list. I was literally like, oh, this weekend I'm gonna watch it, whatever. Then I had a friend come up to me and be like, hey, you know what I watched last weekend? And I was like, what? He was like, The Death of Stalin. I was like, oh, and he was like, don't watch it. And that's what he told me.
He said don't watch it.
He said,
why?
don't watch it.
Because it's bad?
Yes. Well, not bad in like, just not worth the time necessarily. But no, I want to hear your thoughts.
This
really
movie
do.
rocks.
You think it rocks?
This movie rocks. It's on Netflix. The Bling Ring is on Netflix too.
All right.
This movie rocks. I thought this movie was so funny.
Yeah.
I watched it by myself, and I literally couldn't stop laughing for most of it. I was like, this movie's really funny.
Yeah, I definitely feel like you and I, we don't have the exact same sense of humor, but it is similar in certain ways.
Yeah, and it has
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi is in this movie.
I know that. That's the
but
whole
the
reason
cast
I put it
in general, even if I didn't like know everybody, it's like every single person is like perfectly cast to play the character that they're supposed to be portraying.
Right.
And it's so funny. The writing is so good. The jokes are so funny. You just have to see it.
Yeah.
And it's surprisingly like really stylized. The cinematography and the production design are like very beautiful and gorgeous.
I think a gripe that I might be getting this wrong, so I hope I'm not, but it was that the characters were like too unlikable, kind of like a bling ring thing. It's not that they were annoying, but they were so detestable that it took away from the movie.
I disagree. There's at least like 3 people that I was like rooting for, even though they're all not good people.
Right,
obviously.
Exactly. I think they just couldn't make that connection. They were just like, oh, I want all these people to fail. And it kind of turned them off from the movie because they were like, I don't like any of these characters.
No, there's this one guy. I think I have his name written down here. Jason Isaac. You know who that is?
Mm-hmm.
He plays like the general of the army. His entrance is just iconic.
Yeah.
I thought it was so good. But he plays Lucius Malfoy in Harry Potter. He's the dad.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
So when I saw him in this, he's great. He gives one of the best performances. Him, Steve Buscemi, and the girl, I think I have her name, Andrea Riseborough?
Yeah, sure. I don't know.
They all great. Very funny. Obviously, Steve Buscemi's a really funny guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, who, your friend, stupid.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This movie's really funny and good.
I don't like you calling my friend stupid, but we'll move on to your next thing.
Watch The Death of Stalin. It's really good.
I'll watch it and then we'll see what's up.
Yeah, okay.
And what's next?
I started a show. I started I started 2 new shows actually.
Oh my gosh, you're producing 2 new shows? Where are they?
No. I started watching The Last Kingdom, surprisingly on Netflix, believe it or not.
The Last Kingdom. That's not Kingdom. That's something else.
Yes.
They're 2 different things.
It is a story about Uhtred, son of Uhtred.
Okay.
And he's born a Saxon, but then his father is murdered and he is captured by the Danes.
So is this a drama? What is this?
Yeah, it's like a drama. Yeah. It's like a political. Well, it's not really heavy on the politics, kind of like Game of Thrones. It's not like super heavy on the politics, but it's more character driven from mostly Uhtred because he's like the main character. Like Game of Thrones doesn't really have like a main character.
Right, yeah.
But this clearly does. Like Uhtred is the guy, and it just follows him basically the whole time. And then he gets raised by the Danes, and it's kind of his life. And then his Dane father gets murdered.
Gotcha.
Tough look for my guy Uhtred. And it's him kind of like fighting for power to get his rightful land back from when he was a kid or whatever. And I think it's pretty good so far. There's 4 seasons, I think, on Netflix right now.
I'm going to say something to you, and I don't want you to get offended. I don't know what it is, what the difference is between us, what the mental connect is, but you like a lot more TV than I do. I have a really tough time investing like dozens of hours into a television show. That's why I don't watch a lot of TV. A TV show has to be really good. But I don't know. It's just a lot easier for you to connect to these TV shows and latch on to them. I just have a really tough time of it.
Well, I would say that you need to open your mind to new things.
I think you just have more free time.
Well, that could be true.
That's at least part of it, right?
That could be true.
Yeah.
But I thought it was pretty good. It's very modern for like a show set like so far back in time.
Meaning?
Like there's lots of like big drone shots that are like way up, like
gotcha.
Top down.
Sure.
And the soundtrack is really modern. Like I don't really know how to explain that, but like if you heard it, you would understand.
Yeah, it's not like all drums and flutes. It's like
it's like it's really weird.
Right, that's what I think of when I think modern. When I think of modern, I think do.
Yeah, and kind of like that too.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but the action is pretty good in it, especially like the final battle in the first season. I thought was like really good, and I had a favorite character, but I'm very upset, and I regret to inform that he died in the final battle of the first season.
No.
And I'm very upset about that. So hopefully I can get a new character to latch onto, because as of now I'm lost.
Yeah, that sucks.
But yeah, it's pretty good so far, and I am going to watch the rest of it.
I've literally dropped shows because my favorite character died. I'm like, okay, no reason.
It was
to watch
sad,
this
bro.
anymore.
There was it was just out of nowhere. He just gets axed in the neck,
Darn it, man.
and I was like, bro,
Glenn.
maybe he'll be okay, because he holds on to it, and he's still charging
maybe
into
he'll be
battle. And he's like,
fine.
ah! And then he dies.
Maybe he'll be fine when doctors.
I thought maybe
suck.
he would
No. Is it so?
Get
There's
in
no
there.
magic. It's just purely.
There hasn't really been any magic. There's a woman in it who's kind of like a seer.
Yeah, mystic.
She can
kinda.
see things.
Sure.
But there hasn't really been any magic.
That's
But who
good.
knows?
Or,
Maybe
it's whatever.
maybe magic will come more into play later.
Maybe
We'll find out.
We'll
though.
see. We'll see.
But I also started this brand new show. Just came out. There's literally only 2 episodes that you can watch of it.
Oh, okay.
Snowpiercer, the TV show,
Right.
is now on TNT.
Okay.
But I'm watching it on Hulu because it's you can watch it on Hulu.
The channel package or whatever.
Yes. Snowpiercer is so far okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
That's kind of what I was expecting from this. Even though I heard a crazy kind of story about this show. I heard stuff about its production.
Like what?
I heard that it's been in production for a long time, or at least a while,
Mm.
and that every character that initially when they casted all the actors, they all had different parts than from what they have in the show now. Everybody who had a character is now a different character. Somebody was a drug addict, now they're a nightclub owner. Somebody was a rebel, and now they're a police officer. Every character was changed from the original thing to make it a lot more procedural, to make it a lot more kind of like a detective, procedural show, to be kind of fit the mold better, so they can do a bunch of storylines that they can drum up from, like we said earlier with original thoughts. It's a lot of cop shows have done this type of episode, so we'll do one for Snowpiercer, So a lot of the characters got switched around from the original ideas to kind of fit that mold.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Do you feel any of that now that you know it?
It feels the first 2 episodes kind of a little hashed together, just kind of, but I wouldn't say it's so terrible yet.
Okay.
The first episode is better than the second episode, so we'll
Gotcha.
see if it continues the downward
yeah.
trend. But I think Daveed Diggs is pretty good.
Yeah.
He's the main character.
Oh, really? That's cool.
So it's cool because I haven't really seen him in anything. I listen to his music and I know him from Hamilton, but
right, yeah.
that's about it. But it's cool to see him be a lead. And I think the production is really good. The way the production of the train cars and stuff, and the action is well choreographed and stuff. The visual effects they're okay.
Okay, can I ask you a question though? What is the show? What are they what is the guy trying to do?
Oh, it's very different from the movie.
Right.
If you've seen the movie, basically there has been a murder on the train in the upper cars, and Daveed Diggs' character is way in the back. The tailies, I think that's what they call them. Yeah, the tailies. And before they all got on the train, back when the world was okay, he was a homicide detective.
Right, yeah.
And so they go to get him because he's the only homicide detective on the entire train.
Okay.
And they're like, you have to help us figure out who the murderer was.
Mm.
And so he's like, okay. And so,
They're just trying to solve a murder?
yeah, that's basically what it is right now.
So do you think that's something that's going to be the season 1 issue, and then season 2 is going to turn to something else? Because you got to think if they're going to address the movie issue,
Yeah. What is it? I don't even know. There is gonna be season 2. I think
they were renewed for a second season, I think, before the first episode even aired.
I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be the murder's gonna be the whole show, or there's no way it can be. It's probably gonna get solved before the end of the season, or at the end of the season. I don't know where the show's really going, but it's okay. There's a really dumb thing that happens. I think it's stupid.
A second train comes?
There's the second train. No.
I'm pretty sure that's a real thing, by the way.
in one of the cattle cars, this is like a slight spoiler, if anybody cares, probably not. The dude, they're going through like rough track.
Gotcha.
And the dudes are in like the cattle car, like messing with the cattle. And the one dude has like an axe or something because he's gonna like kill one of the cows. And they get like hit by like a avalanche type thing,
Sure,
and it like rocks the train. And the guy like goes, and the like butt of his axe hits the window and shatters it.
Oh,
And obviously the cold comes in and they all die.
nice.
But I'm just sat there and I was like, why is the window just able to be broken so easily
Right.
when the outside world is literally
Death.
so unlivable that you die if you go out in like 3 seconds.
Right.
Because it's like negative 140 Celsius.
I don't know. Maybe it's just, that car specifically.
So I thought that was stupid.
It does sound kind of dumb.
But that's that. And there's like cannibalism thing going on, but
Oh, sweet.
I won't get too into that.
Yeah, let's not.
So yeah, that's Snowpiercer for now.
So, but you're going to continue watching it. And
yeah,
you'll
I'll keep on
update us.
watching it.
Okay,
It's,
that's good.
it's not really a big deal. Unless it gets really, really
That's
bad.
good. And then, yeah.
At this point, I'm still like, okay, I'll watch.
Okay. When does it come out?
It's on Sundays.
Sundays?
Yeah, it's every Sunday.
Cool. Anything else?
No, that's all I did this week.
Well, that means that we have to move on to the next segment.
You know what that is.
You know what that is. I need you to go get that link from that thing we have. And I want you to click on that link, and I just want you to watch what's happening. And what I'm showing him, if you're unaware, is the season finale to the show The Blacklist. And The Blacklist is it's like a show about detectives or something.
What?
And it's a live action show. It is not an animated show, just to be completely clear. It's not that show with Bob Odenkirk, if you know what I'm talking about. It is not that show. It's like I think it's like a CSI type. I actually know nothing about the show, and I don't really care to learn. But what happened? What are you looking at, Nick?
I'm looking at like an animation that somebody threw together in like 5 minutes.
Right, exactly.
Of I guess what's supposed to be happening in the finale of the show.
So can you read who's the tweet from, and go ahead and read the tweet out.
Tanuki Joe
On Twitter
says, scenes from the Blacklist season finale had to be computer animated because the episode wasn't finished when they had to stop production because of coronavirus. I know they probably had to scramble, but man, this is rough.
And I know that we're recording right now, so you can't listen to the audio. But when they go from the live action scenes to the animated scenes, these actors, they're not voice actors because the acting takes such a dip, as well as obviously the look of it, because it's all animated. It looks like a GameCube game, maybe
Worse.
worse than a game like PS1. Maybe not that bad, but I think GameCube is maybe accurate.
Yeah.
But is this the right move?
No.
When you just
this is
have your
wrong.
finale, or should they have waited?
They should wait.
Because they'd still be waiting now.
Yes.
You know?
Like The Walking Dead. The
Or-
Walking Dead final episode has still not come out.
That's true. Or they could have just waited and made the animation a little bit better. At least given the animators more time.
Yeah, I guess.
Because guys, this is rough.
Dude.
I retweeted it on my Twitter, I believe. I don't tweet much, so you can find that at Mervillian YT on Twitter if you want to see it.
It looks like a Telltale game.
It
That's
does
what
look
this
like a
person in the
Telltale game.
comments says.
Yes, it does. It looks like a really bad Telltale game. You know what else it kind of looks like?
What?
Kind of looks like a Borderlands game, like the cell shaded, kind of like a Borderlands game.
It do kind of look like that.
And we do have some Borderlands news, don't we?
Yeah,
Some weird Borderlands
we
news.
do.
What's going on with Borderlands? What is Borderlands, by the way?
Borderlands is a video game.
It's a horror game. No, it's a first-person shooter.
Looter shooter. The
Schluter, if you will.
Okay.
Schluter.
I haven't heard the Schluter.
Looter shoot. It's just faster.
I understand.
Good.
It's getting a movie.
Yes, it is. From Eli Roth. And they casted
Yes.
Kate
Saw this.
Blanchett as Lilith. And if you know Lilith, she is one of the main characters of the game. She's playable in the first game, and then she's a really important NPC in the other ones.
Yes.
And the thing is, we don't actually know if... We really know very little about the movie. We know it's a Borderlands movie, and we know that she's playing Lilith, and that's it.
Yep. That's it.
I think we can kind of assume that Lilith is going to be the lead of this movie, that it's going to be a Lilith-centric
It's gotta
story,
be,
right?
yeah. It's gotta be.
So it's unclear if this is going to be following the plot of Borderlands 2, which was probably the most popular game in the series,
For sure.
or if it's going to be a completely original story, just borrowing the characters in the world. We don't know yet.
Who knows?
Did you played?
I played 2 and 3. I never played the first one.
All right, I played 2, 3, and the pre-sequel. Oh, I did play the first one, but I just ran through it like as fast as possible.
Oh, yeah. I never played the pre-sequel either.
Yeah. Borderlands 2 is probably my favorite one. I don't know if they love Handsome Jack. They, like the Borderlands game, at least, they really like to milk Handsome Jack from the second game. So I don't know if I'd be crazy about seeing him in the movie.
Leonardo DiCaprio as Handsome Jack.
Handsome Jack, perfect. George Lopez as Handsome Jack. That's what I'd cast. I would really like to see them kind of tackle their own thing for this. But what would you rather? What would you like?
For Handsome Jack or just
No,
for
just
anything?
for the movie. Would you rather them have them do their own story or take from the game?
Don't take from the game.
Yeah, I'd have
Probably do their own thing because the game is very special to a lot of people and don't want to
people will only
walk
be
on that.
disappointed, you know,
because
it'll never live up
probably
to
not
it.
going to be good.
Right. You have no hopes for this?
I
mean, I always have hope.
Eli Roth, as I would say, his movies are below average for the most part. He did like the Green Inferno,
Yeah.
if you remember that, and he just did like The House with a Clock in Its Walls. I don't know if you've seen that.
With Cate Blanchett. She's in that too.
Is she in that?
Yes, she
I
is.
don't remember that movie at all. I did see it though. It has Jack Black. I know that.
Oh, gotcha.
It's not good.
I didn't see it.
So we'll see what's going on with that. Maybe he can come through with a big hit. But I'm just kind of like, yeah, okay. I mean, I'll see it.
I will also see it. I guess I don't expect much. So my expectations are low.
Yes.
Which puts me, in a good space to like it.
Yeah.
Because I have low
of course.
expectations. Speaking of low expectations, I guess the Snyder Cut.
Hey, the Snyder Cut. Yo, what's up?
Why, do you not have low expectations for the
is
Snyder
crazy.
Cut? What's up?
No, I do.
Okay.
I'm just very excited that it's finally happening. This has been a thing forever, like years
Yes.
of people being like, we want the Snyder Cut of Justice League. Give us the Snyder Cut. And HBO Max comes in and is like, guess what? Snyder Cut.
Next year.
2021.
Yeah. Possibly in a 4-hour director's cut or in 6 TV style chapters.
That would be cool.
Yeah, this is very exciting. It's such a new thing to happen. Something like this, I don't.
I don't.
It's very exciting
this
in
is
that
crazy.
respect. 4 hours, 4 hours of Justice League.
Yeah, I'm down for it.
I don't
Sign
know
me
if I
up.
could do that. I'd much rather have the 6 chapters than the 4-hour
4-hour
Justice League. Nothing but Ezra Miller running around.
Just
you know?
imagine.
You said that you had some things.
There's a thing that I saw.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder actually tweeted this. It said, like, he is coming, hashtag Snyder Cut. And it was a screenshot of the DC villain Darkseid.
Darkseid?
Right? That's how you say it?
I thought it was Darkseid.
I always thought it was Darkseid.
Oh, I actually don't know. I've only seen it written.
DARKSEID.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's apparently going to be in this, which he is
Right.
completely absent from
But
Justice League.
They did they hint at him in Justice League in the cut we got?
Bro,
I cannot remember.
you're asking me to recall
Right.
Justice League right now.
Exactly. I don't. What did happen in Justice League? Superman was evil for a second, right? That was Justice League.
Was that Justice League?
It wasn't Batman versus Superman because the Flash was there. So it must have been.
Yeah,
Justice
Superman's evil, and he's like, and
Yeah.
he got his mustache
League. Mm-hmm.
CGI'd off. That was great.
See, that's still gonna be there.
Well, maybe they can make it look better now because they're spending like $1 billion on
Maybe
to make the effects look better.
We'll see. I don't know.
Maybe they just put the mustache back on.
Oh yeah, just keep the mustache on and just be like, yeah, he has a mustache now. You just have to deal with it. Superman.
But
has
in the
a
Snyder
mustache.
Cut, it would be, yeah,
That
they could do that.
work.
Be like, oh, he grew a mustache.
Kryptonians can grow a mustache in 5 minutes. They just have to focus really hard. I read something that like Superman. I don't like Superman. I think he's kind of dumb.
Yes,
just
I
like
agree.
as a superhero. I mean, you can say about any superhero that they have a cool story if you read this specific comic, right?
Sure.
But overall, Superman's kind of dumb. I read something that, again, I don't know if any of the things I read are true, so nobody should believe me when I say anything. But I read that when he's Clark Kent, he vibrates so that he doesn't look like Superman. So when he's Clark Kent, he'll just vibrate really hard, like really quickly, so that his face kind of looks different.
What?
And that's supposed to explain away why like nobody's like, oh, Clark Kent is Superman. It's not just the glasses. He's also like vibrating really hard. I have nothing else. That's just a statement that I'm making. Just putting it out there in the world.
Okay.
He has some cool powers though. I think the reason I don't like him is because they don't make sense to me.
He's just got it all. He can fly. He can shoot lasers out of his eyes. He can breathe ice.
Right. That breathe ice is one that like really is weird.
Laser
Laser eyes I can
super
accept.
strong.
Breathing ice, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. He's okay.
Yeah, he's fine. If out of the Justice League, who do you like the most?
Like in the movie?
Yeah, in the movie, specifically the movie characters, sure.
Batman or
Right?
Wonder Woman?
Because I feel like Wonder Woman I like most as like the movie character, Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
I feel like Wonder Woman's been given the most because her movie was the most good, even if
It's still not good. Wonder Woman is a 4 out of 10.
Whoa, 4 out of 10. That's below
That's
average.
my take.
Wow. I'd probably go for 5, but I don't really want to talk numbers on this show.
4 out of 10.
I would probably gonna rate things as just like either watch it or don't watch it. I don't want to get into the it's an 8, it's a 7.
I'll get into it.
I would give it a don't watch though.
Don't watch one. Oh my
So-
gosh, it's so bad.
It's really the last act kind of totally destroys the whole movie, doesn't it?
You're gonna make me angry.
And that's another movie ruined by a mustache.
That's very funny.
Thank you. Yeah, but fans were like rabid about this Snyder Cut.
It's a big deal, yo.
Apparently they bought a Times Square billboard and even got a plane to fly a banner over Comic-Con to release saying hashtag release the Snyder Cut. I'm reading here.
It's a huge deal.
People, I hope they're happy.
I
hope they're happy now.
I wasn't even that into it, and now I'm just like, yo, Snyder Cut, let's do it.
It's weird. I've actually been this is something kind of out of character for me to say, but I've kind of been jonesing for like an action flick. I haven't watched one in a second, and specifically like a superhero one.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while. Like Marvel totally oversaturated me, and I was sick of it. But I'm kind of getting the vibe again. I never watched Far From Home.
Same.
I never
Still
watched
haven't seen that.
Shazam or Aquaman.
I saw Shazam.
So I'm probably gonna go for some of those soon here in the future.
Maybe they'll put him in Justice League.
Shazam.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have his like family of superhero people or something?
Yeah, they're all Shazams or something.
Doesn't they have Black Adam? Isn't that? I don't know.
I don't know.
I have no idea. What do we have next? Unless you have more to say.
About the Snyder Cut? No.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm excited. We'll talk about it when it comes out in a year.
This is pretty new news here. Ryan Gosling's Wolfman gears up at Universal as director decision nears. So this isn't actually any real news. It sort of is. It's kind of like half news. Ryan Gosling's doing a Wolfman movie, which is along with The Invisible Man, which we saw and we both really enjoyed. It's
Invisible Man is good, yeah.
A reboot of the dark universe that Universal tried doing. Do you remember that?
The dark universe.
Remember The Mummy with Tom Cruise? They released that trailer where it was
That
nothing
is
but the sound
still,
effects.
Still the best trailer of all time.
That was quite a trip. That's still got to be up everywhere, right?
Oh yeah, I mean
People
they
ripped that
deleted
and-
it like
yeah,
a few
yeah.
hours after they uploaded it, but of course people
got it,
downloaded
yeah.
it and they have it now. So yeah,
well,
it's up.
That dark universe went nowhere, but I think the new direction that they're going, which they started with The Invisible Man, and maybe we can talk about The Invisible Man a little bit. But what they're doing instead of copying like a superhero universe, originally it was supposed to be all the classic Universal monsters, so like Frankenstein, Dracula, Invisible Man, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Wolfman, all those guys. It was supposed to be one universe, and they were all connected,
Yeah.
And what they're doing instead now is just pretty much just rebooting the movies and giving them to specific directors with specific visions, taking pitches in for what people want to do with the characters and doing standalone, pictures about each of these monsters. No
Sure.
universe rules to follow, which I think is a much better thing to do. Because what can you do with a monster universe where they're like,
Except
are
the
people
Godzilla
really
universe.
dying to see like Frankenstein and Dracula team up and fight? Like we have Van Helsing.
That would be kind of cool though.
Well,
not
watch
gonna
Van
lie.
Helsing
Okay.
because that has that. And it's pretty cool. And Hugh Jackman wasn't. Wait. Okay, I have no idea if this is true, so guys, don't listen to me. But I swear I saw like there's gonna be a Van Helsing movie. You know Van Helsing, right?
I know of it.
Well, I heard there's gonna. The last one was Hugh Jackman,
Mm-hmm.
and I heard there's gonna be a new one. And Van Helsing, or it might not be him. Again, I'm speaking off the cuff, but it might be Peter Dinklage as Van Helsing.
Dinkle.
Exactly, which I think sounds awesome. But again, I
That's
don't know.
sweet.
I have
I
no
like
idea.
him.
I'll fact check myself later. Don't listen to me. But
Interesting.
he's doing Wolfman, and you know he's kind of hirsute. He's got that beard going. He could pull off a Wolfman.
Sure.
He's got that wolfish glare. The reason they're going forward with this was because The Invisible Man was so popular, did so well, even amidst, you know, it was kind of right before the coronavirus hit that it came out. It kind of got cut short a little bit. Even it did very well because it was a low budget film, and it just did a lot with what it was given. And what did you think about The Invisible Man? Just
I
overall?
thought The Invisible Man was pretty good.
I thought that with just like, you know, maybe one or two minor nitpicks to the story, you know, I thought it was really entertaining at the very least.
Gets a little kind of crazy towards the end.
Yes, it does a little bit towards the end.
But other than that, it's pretty solid.
Elizabeth Moss really holds the whole movie together.
Yes.
Herself, you know, she does carry it a little bit. Because I mean, really, a lot of the movie is the whole point of the movie is her being isolated from everyone around her. You know, that's kind of like the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I haven't seen Handmaid's Tale, but everyone says she's fantastic on that. She was fantastic in this, so I would not be surprised.
Can imagine.
But yeah, thanks to her and thanks to that movie, you know, maybe we'll see after Wolfman what's next. What would you like? Would you like to see Frankenstein the most? What would you like to see the most? They might do a mummy one again. I don't know.
I don't.
Creature from the Black Lagoon. That's what I want to see.
Sure, that sounds cool.
It is cool. It's like Octoman, that movie I mentioned
Maybe
earlier.
they should make an Octoman.
I don't think that's theirs.
Well, they can make it theirs.
Make it yours, Universal. Do it.
You heard it. You heard us.
So, we're going to talk about him again. The Blue Blur himself. Who's that?
He's fast, isn't he?
He's fast. Sonic the Hedgehog. Sequel has been confirmed in the works. It did well. They're going to do sequel. I don't have much to say about this. Do you?
No, I didn't see the first Sonic. I don't plan on ever seeing it.
I'll see it eventually.
I'm glad that people enjoyed it. I'm glad that he got fixed when the first trailer came out and he looked really bad.
Okay, well, we need to address that because I don't think we ever
him.
did. Conspiracy? What are your thoughts? That they made him bad on purpose so that people would be like, oh, it's so bad. And they would get a lot of publicity, and then they do the real design. And then that was the whole scheme, was to get all the bad publicity so that people would see.
No.
I agree.
That's just stupid.
I agree because they had like cardboard cut up, like standees and stuff that had the bad design in it.
Yeah,
It's
nah,
like,
that's dumb.
Would you really invest in that? Whatever.
Nah, dude.
I do think it's a fun conspiracy to think about, though.
It'd be funny if they released a trailer for the second one with the
And
old
the
Sonic
design is
design
still bad.
again. That'd be really funny.
No, I don't know. I know you know. Actually, I know you know not much about Sonic. But do you know about his like little buddies?
He's got the red. There's the red one, right?
Yes, the red one. Knuckles.
Wait, like the meme?
Yes. Like the
What?
meme.
That's from Sonic.
You seriously didn't know that? Okay, guys. He has Knuckles, the echidna. He's red. You got Tails. His name is Miles Prower, which is like miles per hour.
Oh.
You have Amy, last name. I don't know Amy's last name.
Schumer.
Amy Rose. Amy Rose, I think. And that's the girl. And those are kind of like the main four. And I'm wondering if they do a sequel, they got to be bringing someone else in. They're not going to do just Sonic again, right? They're going to be bringing in his little buddies too. So it's like, do they bring in just Tails? Do they bring in Tails and Amy? Do they bring in
Deadpool.
I was going to say like Cream and Blaze the cat and Silver. I don't like Sonic. I just know a lot about it.
All these words are foreign to me.
What's Vector? He's a crocodile.
Vector from Despicable Me.
What?
You're about to get Vector.
I don't remember that character.
You don't remember Vector, the orange guy in the jumpsuit?
Oh,
he's the villain.
Yes, the
and
bad
he's like,
guy.
Yeah, Vector.
Yeah,
Vector.
he made me very uncomfortable.
You could say that you got Vectored.
I guess I did get vectored.
Okay, I'm done talking about Sonic.
I'm done talking about Sonic 2,
Give me
but you know what I'm
something else.
ready to talk about?
Yeah.
33 is what I'm ready to talk about.
And 33.
Let's do it in German.
Des. Is des German?
I have no idea. I feel like I can do fake German pretty well, just like by making noises.
Okay.
Be like, ich heinen Waldeisen Verstoffen. You know? Like it's just noises.
Nah, that was totally a sentence.
I have no idea. It just sounds like German, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I know what's bitte? Bitte. Is that you're welcome? Is that thank you?
Jonas. I know that.
That's a name.
Anyway.
Yeah, well, we should all actually talk about Dark, which we've talked about on the show before. Netflix show. Season 3 trailer has dropped. It is the final season of the show.
Or cycle, some say. Final season, the final cycle.
Cosm, or some say Cosm.
Cos.
Anyway, why don't you take the lead on this, because you really are in love with this show.
Dark is it my favorite show on right now? Maybe. Okay. I'm trying to think of all the shows that are happening right now. It's up there. Well, yeah, Mr. Robot's over.
Yeah.
So it probably is my favorite show right now that's like currently coming out. It's so freaking good. It's like a sci-fi time travel show.
Yeah, it's got a lot of shenanigans going on. It is a show
teen drama.
that, guys, you're going to have to put your phone down. Dude. You have to pay attention. One, because you have to read.
Oh, my gosh.
Unless you know German.
Yeah,
you're
it's
gonna have
in
to read.
German.
But two, because there are a lot of timelines going on at the same time. A lot of characters.
Yeah.
So many characters. Because characters exist in multiple timelines. So you have to know the young version and the old version.
And then like the normal version, like the middle-aged
the original
version. There's
version.
like each character has like 3 actors.
Exactly, yes. And it is a lot to keep track of, especially early on.
It can get really confusing, especially in season 2 when you start like finding things out.
Well, yeah, and
like,
a lot of the times, because sometimes the identities of certain characters are hidden, they're obfuscated,
right?
Because it's kind of a reveal that this is who this character has been this whole time, stuff like that.
Yeah, you can look at like the family tree,
right? Family
trees of Dark, and it's like, this person is this person's mom, but also they're this person's daughter and this person's mom and this person's cousin, but they're brother and sister actually.
Right. Yeah. It's very and then there's some consequences with that.
Yo, you know what I'm saying?
All good shows have it. All good shows gotta have it.
Yeah, you already know.
Dark season 3 is the one thing where it could make or break the show, I think. Dark season 3 could
a big deal.
Solidify it as a fantastic show, or it could, pull a Game of Thrones.
Yikes. Hopefully that doesn't happen.
Only because at this point we have gotten so complicated that we might have crossed the line and become too complicated. Because literally, not without spoiling everything, basically everything has got multiplied by potentially infinity.
Yeah, at the very end of the second season, big bomb drops.
So every situation could have like at least 2 consequences to it. It could really complicate things, but we'll see how they handle it. They've handled everything else very neatly so far.
Yeah, it's the best time travel thing that's ever been made, in my opinion, because most time travel things, like, you can pick out like things that don't make any sense.
What about Endgame?
But we'll talk about Endgame on another episode.
Sure. I just like
but in Dark, like, literally they have the rules. They set the rules to their show, and they follow them exactly. And it makes sense. Well, obviously time travel doesn't make any sense, but it makes sense in the show, and you can understand.
Yeah, there's a nice suspension of disbelief there.
What's happening?
That you can all do it. The one thing I really want to see in season 3 is Bartos. I really feel like he was underutilized in seasons 1 and 2, because I really like Bartos. I don't know why. I was drawn to him, and I really want to see more of him in season 3. And it looks like I'm gonna get my wish fulfilled.
Yes.
So that's good. I'm really looking forward to season 3 because of that.
I'm so hyped. June 27th, the day of the apocalypse, yo.
Yes, exactly.
Sign me up. Let's do it.
I have no segue for this next story.
I see that, and my eyes got very wide.
You didn't know about this?
No.
Well, it is the 10th anniversary in August. I think it's the 10th anniversary of Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Literally,
Mr. Pilgrim. That's my favorite part of that whole movie. That guy, that actor, great job.
Literally one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 2 in your top 10 of the decade.
I love Scott Pilgrim versus the World. It was number 2.
It was number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, right below Parasite. Of
Yes.
course, right.
I love Scott Pilgrim.
I think it was number 11 for me.
So good.
It is a pretty divisive film. A lot of people don't like it because it's too like childish.
Nah,
it's
screw
too,
them.
Like, whatever.
You're lame. You don't like having any fun.
Exactly. It's a fun movie. It really is. I guess if you're not into like the kind of like video game aesthetic almost, I guess I can see why it might rub you the wrong way. But because the 10th anniversary, it's going to return to theaters. It didn't do well.
Hopefully.
It didn't do well originally at the box office.
I didn't see it in the theater.
Well, exactly. So it's your fault. This is
I was
literally
like,
your fault.
I was like 11.
Right. But it didn't do well in theaters, but it got the kind of cult following behind it. And now that as more people know about it, it's going to be coming back. I'd love to see a great turnout for this. I would love to go see this in theaters.
Absolutely. Catch me there. Again,
it was supposed to be in August. He said that it's going to happen soon. Not sure if it's going to be August anymore just because of the whole predicament. Yeah. But he's Edgar Wright himself. He tweeted about it. Still really wants to make it happen and wants to make it happen soon. And if you haven't seen it, maybe wait until it comes to theaters.
Yes.
Watch it for the first time in theaters because there's a lot of music in that movie.
Lots.
Hearing it with the nice speakers around you could be a really fun time.
Yeah.
I definitely want to get a few friends together who haven't seen the movie and drag them out to that.
That'll be
like,
party.
Look what you missed,
Yeah. Oh, man, that's exciting. They don't really do that anymore either. They don't really re-release movies that often.
I see it when I see them do it, and I don't know if it's it's the same as this. I see very little advertising about it. And I've seen a lot for Alien. Alien feels like it's being shown in the theaters again like every month. They're like Alien returning for the whatever anniversary. But yeah, it's very exciting. I hope it gets I hope it's not like a 2-night thing. I hope it's like a week-long thing or something like that. I hope it really gets a nice chance to come back.
Yeah, catch me there for sure.
Speaking of coming back, there's a franchise you might have forgotten about. I'm looking at 3 of them right now. VHSs right above me. What are you singing there?
It's
Indiana
Jones
5. Because the 4th one did happen.
There is a 4th Indiana Jones movie, believe it or not.
Regrettably, it did happen.
It's not good.
Hey, is it bad?
It's not good.
It's not good, but is it bad? The villain was awful.
I haven't seen it in a really long time.
I remember the villain was awful. Shia LaBeouf came in and was supposed to be like...
He's in that movie, isn't he?
I don't know if he's going to be in it in 5.
I hope not.
But they really kind of... I think they were going for like, Shia LaBeouf is the new Indiana Jones. But then the movie didn't do very well.
No.
But here's the news. Other than there just being Indiana Jones 5, which maybe you don't know. It's currently scheduled to be released by Disney in 2022. And originally, Steven Spielberg was going to return to direct, but that is not the case anymore.
No, it's not.
There's been a development, and who now is going to take over directorial duties?
Vroom Vroom, Mr. Vroom Vroom himself.
Really?
You don't like that?
I mean, it was one movie. It was a really good movie. It was Best Picture.
Mr. Vroom Vroom. There's a lot of Vroom Vroom in Logan.
Oh, I suppose there is. And
it's James Mangold, yo.
Yeah, Ford versus Ferrari was the other one. James Mangold, we both really enjoy this director, at least in recent years.
Yes, his past few movies.
I guess as far as Logan and Ford v Ferrari, right?
Yes.
He honestly, and maybe this is crazy, he does remind me of Spielberg a little bit in his directing, especially Ford v Ferrari.
Yeah.
It kind of feels a little, I don't want to say old-fashioned, but it kind of feels, I wish my brain knew how to make words, but it kind of felt very like traditional filmmaking. There was nothing too challenging, but what was really good. It was really refined filmmaking. I feel like that's a good way of putting it. It's very refined, the way he makes movies. And I feel like he deals with stuff like Logan which, you know, is an already established thing with a lot of respect. And I'm sure he's a fan of Indiana Jones, because who isn't, really?
Of course.
So I'm eager to see him, you know, take a hold of this, maybe spin it in an interesting direction while still respecting the franchise as a whole, you know? If there was anybody I would choose, James Mangold would be pretty high on the list. You know, he'd be like my number 2 choice.
For sure. Yeah, he's killing it right now. I'm excited, actually, kind of.
Who would be your number 1 choice?
Oh, I just kind of agreed with you.
Okay.
My number 1 to direct a Indiana Jones movie other than Spielberg. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that.
I would be David Lynch.
Oh my gosh! Shut up.
Yeah, I'm gonna shut up. That's just a joke. Anyway, let's talk about Netflix. We've got a few Netflix stories coming up in a row here.
Okay.
First up, Netflix to start canceling inactive customer subscriptions, which, you know, they don't have to do. So is this for good PR? What's happening here is Netflix, anybody who is still subscribed to Netflix and haven't watched anything in a year.
Oh, a whole year?
A whole year. So it's a very long time.
I was wondering how long.
Right. Are going to be asked if they want to maintain their subscription. And if they don't reply, they'll just cut the service off. They'll just cancel it and it'll be done, which is nice. A year, I mean, that is a lot of time, but, you know, you could go like a couple of months without watching Netflix if you got really busy, you know? So I guess a year is an appropriate amount of time. They don't have to do this, you know? So, I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where is it cynical of me to be like, what do they get out of this? Why are they doing this?
Yeah, it's kind of confusing.
Is it the good PR for doing this? Is that what they want? They want
it is kind of nice.
Right, it is nice, but that's why it makes me suspicious.
Hey, we don't want to steal from you.
That's why it makes me suspicious. I was like, why don't you want more money? What are you planning, Netflix?
Maybe they're actually just good people.
Don't you dare say that.
Maybe this giant corporation is they're good people.
Netflix is not, companies are not people, but, you know. But here's the thing, and this is in the article here. They have more than 182 million subscribers as of the end of March 31st, which is a lot.
It's like 182 million subscribers.
Yes.
It's like it's a little more. It's like $10 a month. 182 million times 10. That's how much money every single month.
And
you can do the math.
These accounts, which I guess they call zombie accounts, only represent a few 100,000 or less than half of 1% of that 182 million.
Yeah.
So really, I don't think it's a huge chunk of change. I mean, for us, for a normal person,
it's nothing.
Yes, it is a huge chunk of change.
Oh yeah. Hey, like you send it our way.
Company like Netflix, not that big of a deal.
Interesting.
So what is Netflix doing with all this money? Well, they bought Hollywood's Egyptian Theater. They bought their own theater. Well, it's their own.
Are they
now.
only going to show Netflix movies?
Well, here's the thing. Major cinema chains like AMC and Regal they're kind of reluctant to play Netflix movies since they don't let them be exclusive. They have to play on Netflix at the same time as in the theaters. And a lot of chains have a problem with that.
Yes.
But if they have their own theater in Hollywood, right, and it's the Egyptian, which is a very famous theater, well, what's the big thing that does for them in the future going forward?
Just tell me.
Oscar season, they have their own theater. It can play in Hollywood for as long as they need to.
That's true.
Even though the rules have changed for this year, you know, that wasn't a decision that was solid for the rest of the time. But now it doesn't really matter because Netflix has a theater over there.
Kind of genius.
Kind of cheating the system. Like, it's like, oh, it has a theater run. Oh, yeah, in the one theater. I mean, I know that's the requirements, but it does seem a little like, come on.
Yeah,
but that's for me. That's for us. But yeah, they got their own theater. I guess it's going to be Netflix only. They have plenty of stuff to show.
Yes.
You know, so I wonder how well it will do. I don't think this is like a thing to make money for them. Specifically, like the theater itself. Through extension of the theater, like award seasons and all that, certainly. But the theater itself, I don't think they're trying to like make a profit off of.
Yeah,
you know? What else is new with Netflix? Tell me.
Listen, yo. I'm trying to think of a quote.
Yes.
I want to do a 3-way parlay. I want to do Durant plus 25, plus minus 10 rebounds, and the Celtics are gonna win by the point spread's gonna be 10, and you need to do that.
Golden Furby on a chain. What are we talking about? Just Uncut Gems, the newest movie from the Safdie brothers.
The Safdies,
who are pretty cool. I've only seen 2 of their movies, but they're both really good.
Uncut Gems rocks.
Another one being Good Time.
If you haven't seen it, hop on. Good Time's on Netflix too. I'm pretty sure.
Now they're at least it was, but now Uncut Gems is definitely on Netflix, so you can check it out at any time.
Yes, I already rewatched it.
What should I say? Maybe calm down beforehand. Maybe take a Valium.
This movie will send you on a ride.
It is a high tension movie, a little anxiety inducing, perhaps. Actually, definitely, definitely anxiety.
Try a lot.
The whole movie is just very stressful.
The whole movie, you're just like,
It's very, very well done, very good. It might. You said you got a little bit mad rewatching it, a little frustrated.
Yeah, but in a good way.
I was
just like, because
it's like Mother. Like when you watch Mother and you're like, get off that fucking sink.
Yes. Yeah. Literally.
Get off the glass.
There's just so much happening, and you're just like, make it stop.
Now the Safdie brothers, what are they? Have you heard about what they're doing lately? I think I have.
No.
I think they're doing stuff with HBO Max, actually. And I think they're doing stuff with Showtime. They're producing a pilot for a show for Showtime.
Oh.
They're definitely keeping busy. I think that they're going to be making a lot, shortly in the future.
Good for them.
We're definitely going to be seeing a lot from them, and I'm definitely going to be watching. Guys,
Safdie brothers,
if you want to come on the show, email us.
Hit us up, though.
thestaglerpod@gmail.com. Exactly. Please, guys. Please.
Hit us up.
Please. Anyway, that's all I have for news. Do you have any other news that you want to share?
I have one more thing that I would very much like to talk about.
Oh, is it?
There's an anime.
What is it called?
Called Attack on Titan.
No, what's the Japanese name?
Shingeki no Kyojin.
Yes, that one.
And it is currently.
No spoilers here because he really wants me to watch it. So.
Yes, he hasn't seen it yet, but he's going to watch it. It is currently my favorite anime ever.
Wow.
And the very final season is coming out this year. Well, it's supposed to come out this year.
Okay.
But the trailer for the newest season came out yesterday? 2 days ago? And it got me so freaking hyped. I'm so freaking excited. It looks so good. And that's what I have to say. But I know some people are a little upset because Wit Studio was the animation studio that did the first 3 seasons.
Okay.
But they went off the show, and there's a new studio doing the final season. Mappa is their name. So some people are kind of like,
familiar,
new animation studio. But I really enjoy Mappa. They did another show that I like called Dororo.
Wait, they had to have done something I know because I recognize
they might have. They're pretty good. I think their animation style is really cool, and the manga readers really like it apparently because they say that, like, just from watching the trailer, they say that the animation looks like literally exactly like it's drawn in the manga.
Wow. Yeah.
And like I looked at screenshots of like side by side manga and show, and it's literally like right from the page, which is pretty cool. I feel like most shows don't really do that.
Yeah.
But I'm really freaking excited. You need to watch it because it's gonna be so good.
So there isn't a date for it, or there is?
No, I don't think there's a date. I think some people said fall, in the fall.
Yeah.
So we'll see what's popping with that.
But it should be pretty quick to binge, no?
You mean the first 3 seasons?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
to catch up.
It's like 54 episodes, and they're only they're like 20 minutes a piece. So.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna finish Battlestar Galactica. You know I don't like to do multiple shows.
I know.
After Battlestar Galactica, I'm either gonna watch Attack on Titan or I'm gonna watch The Expanse, and you're gonna have to pick.
You're gonna watch
Well, I'm really liking Battlestar Galactica.
This is an amazing development.
I'm really liking Battlestar Galactica.
You're gonna.
I'm not saying I'm gonna watch all of it.
Okay, you watch Attack on Titan because The Expanse new season just came out last year.
Right.
So it'll be longer for the next season of The Expanse to come out.
Okay. Well, I'll have to finish BSG first.
Oh, this is so good. I'm so
Okay.
excited. You're gonna watch The
When am I
Expanse?
gonna watch a show that I'm gonna make you watch? Has that even ever happened yet? You watched like a few episodes of Portlandia, I guess.
Well, it's because I watch more TV than you. You
That
said
is
it
true.
earlier.
That is true. That is
So
true.
that's why you watch shows that I
I
recommend.
really want to watch What We Do in the Shadows on FX.
The movie. I remember the movie was really funny.
Right, the movie's really good.
The TV show looks funny too.
So I want to see the TV show and see if it lives up to the movie as
Yeah,
well. It's
maybe.
got Matt Berry, who I am in love with.
Yeah.
He's a funny British dude.
Yeah.
Everything he does is hilarious.
But yeah, Attack on Titan. Let's go. I'm so hype.
So we're moving on to
The Spotlight.
what we're talking about.
I have the high ground.
Okay. That's not what he says. He's like, okay.
He says okay, and then he's
Gotcha.
just like, all right, you got me,
I'm
Obi-Wan.
gonna head out.
Prequels, yo.
Prequels, and
We'll
not
be
just
talking
the
about 'em.
Star Wars prequels, just prequels in general, guys.
Yeah. Sorry, that's just like probably the most famous one.
I don't know if we agreed. I think we did agree that we were gonna do like a favorite and a least favorite.
Yes.
I decided not to do that because I couldn't decide.
Okay. Well, I very much decided.
Okay, cool. Why don't you? Oh, sorry.
No spoilers. Don't look
Gotcha.
at my computer.
I can't really read that anyway.
Okay, good.
I just have a list, and I know which one is my favorite. But the thing is, I'll just say it. My favorite prequel.
It's Young Sheldon.
I have it written down, but no. My favorite prequel is Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me.
Oh, lame.
So, guys, but I can tell you my second favorite, I guess. Well, I mean, my second favorite is Better Call Saul. So my
That
third-
doesn't. Better Call Saul has like a pass.
does it?
I chose
Why?
not to include Better Call Saul in my favorites
Why is that?
because it's just, of course, it's the best.
Well, then I guess my favorite is Temple of Doom.
Oh,
Indiana Jones.
there you go.
That's a pretty good prequel. I mean, the kid's annoying, right?
Yes.
And the thing with Temple of Doom, sorry, I meant for you to go first, but I totally stole it from you.
That's okay because I kind of really have a lot to say about the one that I like.
Okay, cool. I have not a lot to say about Temple of Doom other than it is a prequel where I don't think as a prequel it's like excellent. It's a good movie, but I think a good movie can be a good movie without being necessarily a good prequel, you know?
Mm.
It's like as a prequel, I don't know if it does a lot to the service of the, Raiders of the Lost Ark, but it is a really solid movie.
It is. I
You
don't
know?
really remember it too well, but I remember enjoying it. I like
The first three were all fantastic, and then 4, like we said.
Yikes!
Right. Yeah, so funny that we talked about Indiana Jones news this week. That happens to have a
know.
prequel.
It does have a prequel.
There's actually less prequels than I thought there were. Just like
Yeah,
thinking
there's
about it.
really not that many.
It's not that super popular of a thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, most of them actually aren't very good.
A lot of them are really bad.
There's some that I'm not sure if I count. Like half the Godzilla movies from like the 1960s
Yeah.
are technically prequels.
Yeah.
You know?
Another thing is like Fast and Furious 4, 5, and 6 are all technically prequels.
To what?
To Tokyo Drift.
Oh, okay.
Kind of.
Sure. I've seen some of them, but I don't remember anything about them other than
doesn't count.
Family.
We'll have to get you to watch all
Yes, we
those.
will.
I love
Before,
Fast
yeah.
franchise. Let's go. Dominic
So,
Toretto.
Your
Family.
favorite is Fast 5, I assume? Favorite prequel?
No, I left out Fast and Furious because it's not fair because it would have taken
Oh, yeah, a ton of
like
spots.
7
Yeah.
hours of me talking about it. My favorite
Oh my gosh.
prequel ever
Okay, I have one in mind. I don't know if you're going to say it, but go ahead.
is The Lion King 1.5.
Okay, that's not what I was thinking of, and I'm glad
What were you
said
thinking
that.
of?
I was thinking of Apocalypse.
X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah, because you're
X-Men
always
Apocalypse rocks.
Exactly,
I'm going to
you're
give it a
always
shout
gonna
out.
Well, we'll talk about it in a second. Do Lion King 1.5 first.
Okay.
We'll talk about X-Men.
First things first that I want to say
Okay.
is
First, what is Lion King 1.5? In case somebody doesn't
I will
know.
explain it after I say this.
Okay.
It's on Disney Plus, obviously. But
Fair.
the original Lion King on Disney Plus, I watched that before I watched 1.5 just to kind of refresh myself.
Sure.
The 4K like restoration of
Yeah.
the Lion King is insane.
Really?
Yes.
Do you see when the flowers he goes slumps down and the flowers say sex? Does it it's like really? It's
It was clear as day.
clear as day that says not SFX. It says sex because they want your children to have sex
Yep. Yeah.
with lions.
Just like Simba and Nala. Anyway,
Ooh.
that doesn't matter. The Lion King 1 is literally a hot pile of garbage compared to the Lion King 1.5 because this movie rocks.
Wow.
Y'all remember Timon and Pumbaa from The Lion King? You remember them?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Well, think about this. Would you say that they could be the best part of The Lion King?
I would say that Timon could be.
Okay. Well, guess what? Imagine they take the two best characters from The Lion King.
They get gay married.
And, bro, this is crazy. Listen. And they make a whole movie about them, what happened before the actual movie The Lion King, and how they were actually part of the entire movie of Lion King the whole time, and you literally had no idea. I'm about to blow your mind.
Wait, is this the movie where it begins with like dig a tunnel, dig a tunnel?
Bro, listen. Bro, I'm going to get to that. That Dig a Tunnel is the best Disney song ever.
It's pretty good.
And
I mean,
that's
I
facts.
remember it, and I think I've only seen the movie once. And
Facts.
that song,
But first thing I have to preface, this movie is an LGBTQ film.
Wow.
And I will explain it. Timon and Pumbaa are gay, and it's very quite obvious.
So forget the Cyclops
rewatch.
from Onward.
Yes. Disney was putting this in their movies way, way long ago.
So they've been indoctrinating our children since like 2001 or whatever.
Yeah, dude. For real.
Wow.
I know. But listen. They literally kiss in this movie. Do you know that? Timon and Pumbaa kiss in this movie.
Tongue?
No, it's like Lady and the Tramp. They both have the spaghetti, but it's not the spaghetti. It's like a worm, and they're doing it, and they kiss. And then they're like, but obviously they liked it.
Sure.
Because they literally sleep together for half the movie.
Right. Just next to each other,
And
not sleep with each other.
Timon sleeps on top of Pumbaa.
Yes, but on top of Pumbaa, not on top of Pumbaa. But yes, I understand.
Bro, listen. Okay.
Tags, size difference.
You know at the beginning of The Lion King when it's like, yeah, in the Lion King 1.5, that starts off, and then Timon comes in and like does a sick remix of it.
Nice.
And it's fire. Okay, but this is the best part of the movie. The whole movie is actually Timon and Pumbaa in a movie theater watching The Lion King.
Oh my gosh. I don't remember that.
And it's so funny. This movie,
I do not remember
I watched it like a few days ago.
Yeah.
It's still really funny. That part, I think, is a really funny bit that just comes back throughout the movie. Like
that's kind of like Gremlins 2, the new batch, where in the middle of the movie the Gremlins tear the film and the film slows down and it goes and the film reel goes and then the people storm out of the theater and they're like, this one's worse than the first one, and they're like, I want my money back. And he's like, the Gremlins have taken over the film. And so the guy's like, excuse me. He goes in the audience. He's like, excuse me, sir. And it's Hulk Hogan. He's like, yes. He's like, there's some gremlins. Could you take care of that? So Hulk Hogan stands up and he rips off his shirt and he's like, listen, you little gremlins. If you think you can go against the Hulkster, you got another thing coming. And then the movie just like goes back to normal.
What the heck?
So you're saying that doesn't happen in Lion King?
Listen, it's even better. Listen to this. The movie's just happening, right? And then all of a sudden, like literally, this is one of the funniest jokes in the movie. The movie's just like happening, you're just watching it, and then all of a sudden it just hard cuts, and it's like an infomercial for purses.
Oh.
And the one lady's like showing off a purse or whatever, and you're like, wait, what? What's happening right now? And then Timon is like, Pumbaa, you're sitting on the remote.
Oh no, you know what?
I zooms
totally
back out into the movie theater, and
totally
Pumbaa's like, oh, sorry. And then he's like, you know what? I got to go to the bathroom anyway. So he goes to the bathroom, and then it's just like, he walks off, and then Timon's just sitting there, like, all silently, and it's, like, literally, like, 30 seconds of him just sitting there silent, and then he just starts picking his nose, but he gets one stuck on his finger, and he doesn't know what to do with it, and he hears Pumbaa coming back, so he just wipes it on the chair.
And they just take a break from the movie to just add this.
And then they just go back to the movie.
When he was a young dog.
And also, listen, back to this movie being LGBTQ.
Right.
It's literally called Pride Rock.
Oh, you're right. That how did we miss this subtle clue?
It's literally called Pride Rock.
Like gay pride.
Bro, literally. There's a lot of really funny...
I hope we're not being offensive.
I don't think so.
Okay, good.
There's a lot of really funny callbacks in this movie.
Yeah.
Like in the first movie, Mufasa's like everything the light touches, whatever. In this movie, Timon's mom is doing the same thing. She's like, look, out there in the beyond, everything the light touches, and then there's like a long pause. You're like, oh yeah, this is from the first movie, and then she's like, belongs to someone else. And then there's literally a callback to Casablanca in this movie. They call back to the tragedy of Julius Caesar.
Wow.
There's an apocalypse.
There's
an Apocalypse Now reference. Literally, Pumbaa like
what was this movie made for?
Pumbaa rips like a huge fart. And,
that's his thing,
and then
yeah.
Timon is like, oh, I love the smell of Pumbaa in the morning.
Oh, God. Oh, gosh. That is a little... Ooh.
I'm telling you, bro, they are very homo.
I don't know about that.
What else do I have to say
What else do you
about
have to
this
say
movie?
about it?
Okay, this is another great thing. When they go to do Hakuna Matata... Oh, wait, hold up. I have to talk about how Timon and Pumbaa were there the whole time through the Lion King.
Right,
So
exactly.
in the beginning of the Lion King, they raise Simba up, right? And all of the animals bow, right?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? This movie flips that on the head. Guess what? They're not actually bowing. Pumbaa and Timon were in the way back of the crowd because they were trying to get somewhere.
Gotcha.
And Pumbaa rips a huge fart in the back of the crowd because he doesn't do well in crowds. He gets gassy.
Yeah.
And it makes all of the animals in like the back few rows faint and fall to the ground. And then the animals in the front are like, oh shoot, they're bowing. Maybe we should bow too. And they all bow. That's why they all bow.
Who would support like this monarchy?
Exactly.
You know, it's like obviously he's going to look out for the lions first. Like, why would he care about he eats the antelope. Like, obviously they talk about that. Like, the lions turn to grass and the antelopes eat. Fuck that. What? You literally eat them alive. When you're grass, you're already dead. That was really dumb of Mufasa to say. But of course they wouldn't support that kind of leadership. It's like, you guys can eat me when I'm dead.
Exactly.
What a loser.
So this is what's happening. Also, do you remember when he sings, I just can't wait to be king?
Yeah, it's like the
and
first
then they
song.
all fall down at the end.
Sure.
Why do they fall down, you may ask? Well, The Lion King 1.5 has the answer. Timon and Pumbaa are trying to chill. They're trying to find a home where they can chill, and they're chilling. And freaking Simba and Nala are walking all over, and they're doing this thing, and Timon's like, yo, you got to stop. And he pokes one of the people, and they freak out, and they're like, ah, and then they all fall because Timon did it. You didn't know that in the first one.
How old are Timon and Pumbaa? Are they like vampires?
That
are
is
they
a
like
great
hundreds
question.
of years old?
Who knows how old
Maybe
they are?
they're immortal.
I don't know.
Immortal gay animals. I have a question. Have you ever seen... Was there a third? I know there's a second one. Was there a third? Lion King?
No, they did the first Lion King, then the second one,
And then a TV show?
Then they did 1.5.
I think there was a TV show too.
Maybe.
Because I remember there was like Scar's kid or something like that. Like Scar had a kid.
Oh.
And he became like the main character. That might have been Lion King 2. I'm not sure. I'd have to brush up on that.
I don't know much about Lion King 2. But what I do know is Lion King 1.5. And when they get Timon and Pumbaa...
Wait, Lion King 1.5. It should be Lion King half. Because it happens before 1.
But is 1. No, part of it happens before 1. And then the rest of it is during 1. But it's the other side of the story.
Okay, I guess I'll let it slide.
Okay. So anyway, they were there when the stampede happens and Mufasa dies. Right?
What are you about to say?
They had nothing to do with it. They were just chilling, vibing.
Gotcha.
And they had to run away too. But they find Simba, right? In the movie, they find Simba and they're like, yo. And then they sing Hakuna Matata. And then it just like flash forwards to when they're old and Nala comes back. Guess what? This movie, you probably, when you watch Lion King, you're like, oh man, I wish I could have seen, the three of them together, and them like raising him. Guess what? Lion King 1.5 gives you. Guess.
Well, what?
Timon and Pumbaa raising Simba.
Right.
So you get all of it. And when they sing Hakuna Matata in this one, they do a sing-along.
Oh.
Now listen. When they do the sing-along, there's a little ladybug that like jumps on the words as it goes.
Sure.
And this is a great little joke they have that I thought was really funny. The ladybug's going, they're singing Hakuna Matata. Then all of a sudden the ladybug kind of disappears. And Timon jumps up on the seat in the movie theater and is like, Pumbaa, did you eat the grub?
Oh, no.
And then
Pumbaa.
Pumbaa's like, yeah, I ate it. And he takes it out of his mouth and they put it back on the screen. And then the little grub is trying to dance across the words and it's like, and it can't. And then it falls over and dies.
Rough.
And then they sing the rest of Hakuna Matata and it's really good. And then you just watch them like raise Simba. You watch them do all these little shenanigans and stuff. They do the snail eating contest, which is basically just like beer pong but with snails. Yeah. It's really, really good. And then you get it all. You really do just get it all. And then I'm not even done yet. Yeah. Listen to this. Then Nala comes back and they're like, oh, we gotta go, whatever. In the end, when Scar and Simba have to fight, guess what? Timon, Pumbaa, Timon's mom, and Uncle Max are all there too.
On the grassy knoll.
Digging the tunnel.
Okay.
Dig a tunnel, dig. What was that? Quick before the hyena comes, dig a tunnel, exactly. dig a tunnel.
It is a bop.
It's really good. They dig a tunnel and they literally beat all the hyenas. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, because he had the whole hyena army.
Exactly. Yeah. You didn't know that. Now you do. Timon and Pumbaa, you have them to thank for that. Now, I found some reviews on Letterboxd that I would like to state for people who need to realize some things.
Okay.
This person says, anyone who thinks that gay people shouldn't be parents need to sit the fuck down and watch this film.
Yeah. I mean, Simba is more raised by them than he is Mufasa.
Yes.
So
now listen, this is the other one I have. In 2004, Massachusetts became the first state in the U.S. to legalize same-sex marriage. And this movie also came out in 2004.
Oh, 2004. Gotcha.
Coincidence?
Maybe. Are Timon and Pumbaa from Massachusetts?
That's all I have to say on this matter. This is an LGBTQ film. It should be in the LGBTQ section of streaming services.
Right next to Venom.
Sure. It's a masterpiece. Lion King 1.5 rocks.
Yeah.
I enjoyed every second of it.
Best
in my
prequel
rewatch.
Ever made.
Yes.
Yes.
The best prequel ever made is The Lion King 1.5. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing? Get on Disney Plus. Go watch it right now. It's like 78 minutes long.
Nice.
It's really short.
Nice.
It rocks. I love it. Okay. That was a lot.
That was way more than I expected.
I really had to talk about it.
Sure.
Because I am passionate.
Yeah, I can feel it. Like, I can physically feel your passion.
Go
with what? I don't know.
Do your thing. Do you have anything else to say?
I can tell you.
Give me a bad one.
A bad one?
Yeah, because I have a bad one.
I mean, there's the Star Wars ones, but maybe we should get into that. I think
we could do a reenactment of the Star Wars if you wanted to.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to get copyright claimed.
It's over, Justin. I have the left chair.
Left Shark. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
the halftime
I will talk about a really disappointing one, which is The Thing from 2011. Which, by the way, has Tormund in it, which I didn't realize when I watched it. But when I looked back, I was like,
"Does he drink Giant's milk in it?"
I don't think so. But
interesting.
It's from 2011 of the 1980 prequel of the 1984 film. I think it was 84. The Thing, right?
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's just when you're trying to live up to the original The Thing, obviously that's a really tough thing. And I don't think that it crashes and burns quite as hard as, let's say, Alien Covenant does.
Alien Covenant, yeah.
I could have also just talked about Alien Covenant, but I just don't want to.
Yes, not good.
But the movie definitely has stuff going for it. There are some scenes, like some effects that are gory and cool to look at just visually from a standpoint. But altogether as a whole movie, it just felt kind of loosey-goosey. I don't know what to say about this movie. It just wasn't really grabbing me the same way The Thing does. Really, the whole time I was watching the movie, I was like, man, I can't wait until this movie's over and then The Thing happens.
Oof.
But not in such a serious way. But I was like, wow, this is really exciting because I know that these events happen here later.
Interesting.
I guess it was too dark of a shadow to come out of the original The Thing. And, it just didn't work out for them.
It has a cool poster, though. I will give it that.
It does. Anyway.
The Thing, it sucks. Don't watch it.
I watched the original, definitely. Have you seen it?
No, I actually haven't.
I have it if you want to borrow it.
I've seen the part where the guy goes to, put his hands on the dude, and he opens up and then like bites him or something. I don't know.
Well, do you have another bad one then?
Oh boy,
Do you?
do I have maybe the worst prequel movie ever made? It actually low key ruins an entire franchise that is great.
Okay.
This movie is known as Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of
Oh,
Grindelwald.
Yes. I had not seen these because
Should be called Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of J.K.
J.K.
Rowling.
Rowling.
Because this
Yeah.
shit is off the chain.
Yeah. Is that the second one?
It's the second one. The
second
first one is like okay.
Yeah.
It's just a cute little movie.
Mhm.
This one like stomps
Are they?
on.
Are there going to be more?
There's supposed to be 5.
Oh. Is this universally panned or is this a personal thing?
No, a lot of people really hate this movie
Gotcha.
because a lot of really dumb things. Are you gonna see it? Can I go full
I
spoilers?
do not care about this movie.
I'm going full spoilers for you're gonna. This is gonna get you.
You're saying
going.
this ruins Harry Potter?
It could possibly. We'll see how they handle it in the future movies.
Right,
but
okay.
there is something that gets revealed at the end of this movie that is so atrocious.
Well, before you continue, I think one of the big things, if I remember correctly, it was a long time ago that I was reading all about this. One of the things about these movies as compared to Harry Potter was on these movies, J.K. Rowling was actually writing them herself.
She is writing the
Whereas
screenplays.
Harry Potter, she wrote the stories and she helped them be adapted, but she wasn't writing the movies herself. She was just kind of being a helping hand.
Yeah.
But in this one, she is writing the screenplays herself.
She's not good at it.
She's not as talented at it as
She's
book
not
writing.
good at writing screenplays. She's great at writing books.
Mhm.
But a book and a screenplay are not the same thing.
I haven't read any of the Harry Potter books. I've seen all the movies.
Mm.
You showed them all to me. I watched like 4 in one night, I remember. And it was
They're so
awesome.
good. The original Harry
Yeah.
Potter series is great.
I think I read part of a French copy of Harry Potter, and that's about it.
Yo, nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like it. Jude, where do I start with this stinker of a
The
movie?
beginning.
What? Literally, okay. This is this movie. I'm about to explain it to you. There's like 15 characters.
Cool.
There's way too many characters. I'm gonna say all the things that are wrong with it. Actually, I'll say all the things that are good.
That'll be quicker.
The visual effects.
Yes. Yeah,
That's it.
didn't they? Okay. Didn't they do that cool warp thing where their body like goes and they
Yeah, when they
do, like, a
apparate.
teleport? Yeah,
Yes.
apparate. That's what
It's
it's
called.
called.
Yeah, really cool. Obviously that the visuals look great. Whatever. That doesn't matter if everything else sucks.
All right.
The tone of this movie is like everywhere. Like in one scene, it's like, oh look, I'm Newt Scamander. Look at this cute little animal. I'm cute. And then literally like 2 seconds later, there's like babies being Avada Kedavra. I swear, this is
Really?
yes.
Baby.
I'm not overreacting. Literally, a baby gets killed by
Doesn't
Avada
it-
Kedavra in this film.
Doesn't it take place like during like World War II or something like that?
It's the 20s, I think. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
like not
Yeah.
during, but before World War II. After, I think it's the 20s. Yeah, it's old.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what else? It's not funny. This movie's not funny.
But
It like tries to be funny, and it's not funny at all. There's a part where one of the characters comes in at the beginning, and they have another character who in the first movie was supposed to be obliviated. This part pisses me off. It's gonna make me really mad.
Okay.
And he comes in and he's like, "Oh, Newt," and he's like, "Wait, how do you know me? You were supposed to be obliviated," because he's a Muggle and he like witnesses all this like crazy stuff, so they have to obliviate him, obviously.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, well, the obliviate only gets rid of all the bad memories, and I liked all the good ones," which is just like never been.
Mhm.
At least me personally, have never heard this before,
That does
which
seem
got me
odd.
thinking, oh, Hermione obliviates her parents in the original Harry Potter
Right,
series.
Catelyn Stark.
So, yes.
Yes.
So, you're telling me that Hermione's parents had no good memories of them and their child? Otherwise, they would remember it, right? According to the Crimes of Grindelwald.
That's pretty messed up, actually. That's actually really messed up.
That's what this movie's saying, is that they actually just hated Hermione, and
Didn't-
maybe it was a good thing.
Didn't Hermione like her parents?
Yes.
So I don't know what's up with that.
Oh, you're telling me.
I mean, I guess you can.
This is one of many things.
I guess you can hate your child. It's not illegal. I've seen We Need to Talk About Kevin. You know,
This is one
That's
of many
Ezra Miller.
things.
isn't Ezra Miller?
Yes,
in-
he's in these movies, and he sucks.
Yeah. So we
He
need
plays the stupidest character named
Connections.
Credence.
Ezra Miller in Hating Your Children.
Connections. Listen, Credence. He literally dies in the first movie. He gets like exploded.
Nice.
And then like all of a sudden in this movie, there's like Credence is alive. They don't say how he's alive. They're just like Credence is alive, and you just like are forced to accept this.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, like do I get to know
Hey,
how
well,
or why?
Maybe in the third movie they'll be like, oh, this is how. By the way.
Maybe in the third movie. That doesn't make the second movie better.
Maybe in the fifth movie.
This movie, it just jumps from like there's probably like 7 different stories happening at the same time.
Yeah.
7 different like subplots at the beginning. Well, not the beginning. For the first 2 hours in the movie, there's like it's just jumping between these 7 different subplots of just like characters like doing stupid shit that like doesn't make any sense. And then in the final like 20 minutes, they all come together and like something happens.
Something. All right.
Which I'll talk about, which is dumb.
Sure. Yeah.
Bro, I talked about the Obliviate thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dumb little fan service in this. This one's not really that like angering, but it's just kind of dumb. Like they didn't have to do this. Dumbledore's in this movie. Young Dumbledore. He's played by Jude Law.
Gay.
Yes, him and
Wow.
Grindelwald are homo. But there's a scene where Dumbledore's like teaching at Hogwarts, and then somebody comes in and is like, "We need to talk to you." And he's like, "Okay, we'll get all the kids out of the classroom." And he's like, "Professor McGonagall, take them away." And Professor McGonagall has like a cute little like 2-line thing, and you're like, "Oh, look, that's Professor McGonagall." But Professor McGonagall should literally not be alive at this time.
Yeah.
It doesn't line up with the timeline, so they're just like, "Oh, we'll throw her in just for fun."
But it's magic.
What?
I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a movie where if you criticize any part of it, anybody can just be like, "Oh, well, magic though."
Yeah,
It's like,
I
oh,
guess
it's magic.
that's just like a little thing. It's just like they didn't have to make that person McGonagall.
Yeah.
But
So it was just kind of like a fan servicey, like
yeah,
kind of moment.
but like if they want to do fan service, that's fine. But as long as it like makes sense. But like
Yeah.
literally, she's not alive. She shouldn't have been born yet.
Right. I don't
But
know.
whatever. That's not like really a huge deal. It's just kind of like a nitpick.
It's a lot of things that
Um,
add up to a bad experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a Daenerys Targaryen level turn in this
Oh,
movie
Sweet.
where a character in the first movie and like 75% of this movie is just really happy, like, oh, I love everything.
I feel like I heard about this.
This is great. Like, her name's Queenie, and she's like, oh, I
Yeah.
love this. This is great. And
My
then
favorite Brahmin.
in the last part, Grindelwald, who's played by Johnny Depp, makes this speech about how they should rule over the Muggles.
Right. He wanted to like. I thought he wanted to like get rid of them.
He's like, I don't hate the Muggles. They're just blah 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 blah, and we need to blah 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 blah.
I mean, is he wrong?
He's a fascist leader.
I'm just saying, as a Muggle myself, is he wrong?
His big selling point was he like sends a like image around the room and it shows like the future and it's like World War II happening and they're like,
Gotcha.
oh, not another war because the first World War just ended. And they're like, oh, we don't want that. And he's like, this is what will happen if the Muggles continue to live the way they are.
Okay.
And so he's like, we need to rise up and do whatever.
Why couldn't they just kill Hitler
And
as wizards?
why didn't they just Avada-Kedavra?
Yeah. Why didn't they just obliviate him?
There we go. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the character that's been like happy is just like, you know what? You're right. And
In
the
like one scene.
the
in
worst
one
part
scene.
is that she is in love with a Muggle. The dude that got obliviated, they're in love. And then
Oh.
she's like, oh, you're so right. And then she just like goes to his side and they're all just like, what are you doing? And she's like, no, don't listen to him. Isn't he saying like truth?
Yeah.
And they're just like, no, no, no. They're like, no. And then this is the worst part. The end of the movie, after the stupid climax, Credence goes with Grindelwald
Okay.
after his big speech.
Johnny Depp.
Yep. And they're in a room together.
Sweet.
And the kind of a thing that's been happening for the first 2 movies is you don't know who Credence really is, but he has like immense power.
Okay.
So you're kind of like, ooh, it's kind of a mystery of like who he is. And then he's like, Grindelwald is like, it is said that in your family, a phoenix will come to those who are in need. And a big phoenix flies in. And if you know at least some things about Harry Potter, you would realize that that is a trait of Dumbledore's family.
Yeah, he's got the phoenix that
He
cries
does have the
or whatever.
phoenix. And then he's like, Credence, you are a Dumbledore.
Oh wow, that's a pretty big reveal.
Which straight up makes no sense from what we know
Yeah.
about Dumbledore and everything that we learned in the first books. We learned like literally everything about him, but apparently we just missed the part where he has like a really extremely powerful.
Wait, what is the relation?
Don't know.
So it could be his sister.
He just says, "I'm Credence Dumbledore now," or his name's like Aurelius. His actual name's
it's
Aurelius.
A boy. Sorry, it's a boy. I was thinking about
Dumbledore.
Queenie. So
Yeah.
it could be like a brother. It could like be a son even.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Wow.
But it's stupid. And then this is the worst part. He's like, "You're a Dumbledore now," and then Credence is like, Ezra Miller's like, he's really not good in this movie.
Yeah.
He's like, and then he just like takes his wand. He's like, and then he just goes, and he shoots like a huge laser beam, and totally decimates an entire mountain. And then the movie just ends. I swear, it just cuts to black after that. He just blows up a whole mountain, and then the movie just ends.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know.
Oh, I kind of want to see that now.
Anyway, that's the crimes of J.K. Rowling. It's really not good.
That doesn't.
I'm not looking forward to the third one, but maybe they can correct some.
Do we know when that is?
No, and I don't care to know.
Do you think it possibly might not be?
Might not be what?
A thing.
No, it will be. It
Okay.
made a lot of money. It'll make
cool.
more money. I'm gonna
That's
spend money on
sad
it.
because Ezra Miller. I mean, I haven't seen him in much, but he's in like movies that I really like.
Yeah, he's a decent actor. He's just, I don't know if it's the directing.
Right,
Or
he
what's
might be
going
one of
on.
those actors that like relies on a good. Well, here's the thing. This is really off topic, but just I think a good director can turn almost anybody into a good actor. You know, like a really good director can even take like children who are really dumb and small and make them into good actors just through, you know, good direction. So I think that a lot of it actually does rely on them. But again, there are actors who can act even in really bad movies and be really good in them, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I mentioned Alien Covenant a little bit, and I don't really want to talk about Alien Covenant, but I do want to talk about Prometheus just for a second.
Okay.
And I just want to go, because I know Prometheus, people don't like it very much.
Sure.
Alien Covenant, I think is bad. I think it's really bad. Prometheus, I think it's okay. As a prequel, maybe it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I know I have bias. Okay, Charlize Theron is in Prometheus.
Yes.
But I think as a standalone movie, Prometheus is very interesting. When you don't think... So it's not a good prequel, because if you don't think of it as a prequel standalone, I think it's a neat little flick. I think it's got neat ideas with its themes and stuff. And the idea of makers and, you know, stuff like that. I just want to put it out there that I don't think it's that bad. I don't know if I defend it. If you don't like it, I'm not going to say you're wrong. But that's just my personal opinion. I think it's fine.
I don't know if I've ever really seen Prometheus all the way through now that I think about it.
Maybe not.
I know I've seen parts of it.
It is tough for a lot of people. And I'm not saying this is a lot of people. But when all you hear about a movie is bad things, it can kind of warp your perspective a little bit, because then you're kind of looking for all the bad things when you go and watching it.
Right.
And the same thing when you hear a lot of good things about a movie, you can kind of look past its flaws because everyone's so hyped about it. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, we could talk about another one though, an animated prequel that
Do it.
we saw
In the theater.
We did see it in the theater. Where in the theater did we see it?
Specifically, the very, very front row. The only place to sit. We also saw The Rise of Skywalker in the front row.
And we saw another movie in the front row. We saw 3 movies.
Yes. Dolphin Tale. We've seen Dolphin Tale in the front row. I had to choose. What was Dolphin Tale's the best in the front row.
Oh, I disagree. I think Puss in Boots is the best in the front row. Do you remember when they went over the desert landscapes and it was like that zoomed up shot and it would like go across the landscape?
That was crazy.
It was crazy. It was like, yeah. It was like going through hyperspace, even though in Rise of Skywalker it wasn't that interesting in the front row.
Yes. Maybe. Oh, man. Yeah. They're all great. But Puss in Boots, though, do be kind of crazy, though. It's chilling.
Kind of crazy. It is another prequel where it's like, it's just a story about a character who is in Shrek that happens to take place before Shrek.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't lead up to the events of Shrek really. You know, I mean, it kind of does, but not really.
It's like his origin story.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
This is, if I'm remembering this correctly, maybe I'm not, so maybe remind me. I think this is the only animated movie where I've seen a character commit suicide, like a kid's movie. Where a character like kills himself.
Bro.
Puss in Boots sadly has had enough of it, and he just hangs up. No, I'm kidding. He hangs up a Noose in Boots. Puss in Noose. I don't know.
Oh my.
But do you remember at the end, Humpty Dumpty?
Yeah. Yeah.
Major spoilers, by the way. Humpty
Guys.
Dumpty kills himself at the end of this.
He do. There's also a really terrifying moment where there's like a big reveal.
Yes.
And Humpty Dumpty ends up being like the villain.
Yes.
And he's like, I've been here the whole time. And it like does a flashback of all like the main
bunch of
scenes in the
scenes,
movie.
yes.
And you just see him in the background and like he looks so scary in the animation.
very
and he's just like,
creepy.
just watching.
I mean, we were what, like 12 or 13 when we saw this movie? But I think we were 12 actually. And it stuck with me, man.
It really kind of freaked me out.
The thing that stuck with me is Humpty Dumpty in general. Because what a
He's
weirdo.
terrifying.
And the glitter box. Remember it was the like thing where they did the dance and everything.
I don't think I remember that.
Well, because it was the litter box, so it's like the litter box but glitter because it was like Girl Club or something like that.
Oh, good.
And that's all I remember about that movie. But I thought it was fine. I remember being like, you know what, this is an okay movie.
Sure, maybe I'll watch it again.
I know, I kind of want to see what's up. I was like, this is a nice little offshoot. It obviously, it was a little more out there. It didn't feel super Shrek. Like, it didn't feel like it existed in Shrek world. It did feel like a different universe almost, even though it was Puss in Boots.
It was.
It do be Puss in Boots, but God, you might want to check it out.
Maybe.
If you like Shrek, I don't know. Maybe if you'll like it. Who knows?
Who knows?
It's definitely more of a kind of mainstream type of kids movie, I think.
Yeah.
It's not as like referential and, satirical as Shrek 1. Sometimes people say Shrek 1 is too much of that to its like detriment, but I don't know.
Shrek 1 rocks.
I like Shrek.
Shrek 2 rocks also.
Shrek the Third?
That's okay.
Shrek the Final
Forever
Chapter?
After.
Is it
Shrek Forever After.
Shrek Forever
That's
After.
the fourth one.
Right, yeah. I think I'm thinking of Saw.
I don't really remember that one too much.
That was Rumpelstiltskin, who, by the way, Rumpelstiltskin was in Shrek the Third. And then they just changed his look entirely for the last one.
Wow.
So it's like, what are they doing to this universe? He was literally in the bar. Prince Charming was like, you Rumpelforeskin. And he was like, Stiltskin or whatever. He's like, yes, you blah, 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 blah. And it was a totally different looking guy. It wasn't even the same guy.
Dang. I didn't know that.
I don't know. I don't know. I remember watching that and I was like, wow, what hacks over at DreamWorks. Do you have anything else about Puss in Boots?
No, I don't. I don't have any more.
I'm just stretching this out.
But I do have a movie that I can almost guarantee that you and probably most people that are listening have never heard of.
Okay.
It's called The Golem. Ever heard of it?
Nope.
The Golem is a movie from 1915.
That's like
over 100 years ago.
That's a while ago. The Golem.
And The Golem is actually a lost film. You cannot watch this movie because it doesn't exist. But you can watch like parts of it on YouTube. There's like you can watch like 5 minutes of just like clips that are like saved. Really interesting. But we're talking about prequels. And in 1920, a movie came out called The Golem.
Yeah.
How he came into the world.
Wow.
This is the prequel to The Golem.
Is this the first movie prequel?
I would have to say so.
Wow.
This is the first prequel ever. Wow. Movie-wise.
Yes. Right.
And you can watch this movie. You can watch the whole thing. I literally watched it on YouTube.
What's the first prequel ever? Wait, I'm sorry. I totally interrupted you. You can watch it on YouTube. What did you think of it?
You can watch it on YouTube. It's a silent movie, obviously.
Right.
It's actually kind of good.
Really?
It's a silent movie. The one thing that really bothered me was the music is like really repetitive.
Yeah.
And that kind of bothered me. But the sets are actually really cool looking. Mm-hmm. It's German movie also. It's actually Der Golem.
Oh, wow.
Or something like that. And it's about like a rabbi who creates a golem out of clay and then brings him to life. It's kind of like the OG Frankenstein.
Gotcha.
But
other than Frankenstein,
brings Golem to life and Golem is there to protect the Jews.
Golem is his name?
Yeah, he's the Golem.
Oh, okay.
Golem is there to protect the Jews from the persecution going on in their city.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the movie. The Golem, like the first half is like them being like, oh, we're being persecuted, we need to make the Golem. They make the Golem, and the Golem like does some stuff, saves them, throws some people off buildings, which is kind of cool. And yeah. And then he gets buried because in
He's
the
too
first
powerful.
Golem, he like comes back.
Oh, right, because this was
They like
prequel.
find the
Yeah.
Golem like in the rubble or something.
Oh, very interesting.
But it was really cool. I've never seen a movie this old before,
Mm.
and it's just like watching a movie that like is so old. I was just like, wow, this is actually kind of
And
really
this
cool.
one, the prequel was the full movie. It wasn't lost.
Yeah, it was the whole movie.
Very
you can watch
cool.
the whole movie
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Nice.
It'll say though that it's like the original 1915 movie, but it's not. It's the
It's the
1920
1921, yeah.
sequel. People in the comments will say that.
If you can trust them, unless they're lying.
They're not.
How do you know that?
Because I know for a fact that the first Golem is lost
Okay.
film.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it was really cool the way that they had to make movies way back
Right,
100 years ago. It's just kind of cool thing to look at, and if you're into that kind of stuff, I would maybe you don't even have to watch the whole thing, just kind of like look at it. It's kind of a cool thing to look at.
What is the first prequel?
Like ever?
Yeah, is Paradise Lost a prequel to Dante's Inferno?
I have no idea.
What is the first prequel? Google. Hey, talk about something while I'm typing. Actually, I can talk about something. Wow. Okay, that's dumb.
Well, I could have said something.
Oh, what do you have?
I just had honorable mentions.
I mean, I have a lot of honorable mentions that I'm going to talk about too, but I think since you mentioned a movie that you can find on YouTube, I'm going to mention a movie you can find on YouTube too. Except your movie from 1920, that kind of makes sense that that's on YouTube. The movie I'm going to talk about is from 2007, and it's one of those movies that's just on YouTube. It's just there.
I love it when there's just random movies that
It's
in
been
full on YouTube.
It's been on there for like a year. It's not like it's been up for like a week. It's been on there for like a year. It's got like hundreds of thousands of views. People are just watching it. I think like Akira, I don't know if that's still up, but for a while it was on there. But the title was Slime Tutorial.
That's so good.
But it was just Akira. I wonder if that's still up. But the movie I'm talking about is Hannibal Rising, which is a prequel to Silence of the Lambs and Hannibal.
Love Silence of the Lambs. One of my faves.
I guess it's a prequel to Red Dragon as well, but I don't know. And this prequel, it's Hannibal, but it's young Hannibal, so it's not Anthony Hopkins. It's some dude who's okay. He's okay. I have very little to say about this movie other than it's pretty good. It's one of those movies where you can tell it's like The Good Liar.
The Good Liar, yes.
It's like The Good Liar in the way that you can tell that it was a book, and you can tell that they were very faithful to the book. You just get that feeling where you get details. You're like, why are we focusing on this?
Yeah.
And it's like they just kind of maybe were too faithful in some spots when they should have shifted stuff around for a film. But I just want to say, so obviously it's about him. You find out that when he was a kid, it was like World War II, I think, and his parents were killed, and a bunch of Russian soldiers like holed up in his house, and they were staying in his house throughout the winter, and they were running out of food, so they killed his little sister and ate her. And then like some bombs got dropped on them and they ran away. So he was like, wow, these people killed my little sister and ate her. I'm really mad. So when I grow up, I'm going to kill them and eat them. And that's the movie. It's actually, kind of cool idea, I guess. Because you're kind of rooting for him, even though he turns into a real not great guy. I've little to say other than he gets with his aunt. It's through marriage, aunt, but still, she's Asian. And with his Asian aunt, I thought this was so funny. I don't know if this was a thing back in 2007. But Hannibal has a katana, and he calls her Milady. He literally has a katana, and he goes, Milady, I thought the sword would be appropriate, Milady.
What?
Hannibal Lecter, in his youth, was like literally a neckbeard. He didn't have a beard, but he had a katana and said "milady," and I just thought that was hilarious. Like, nothing but respect for Hannibal Lecter. You know, he's great at what he does.
Yeah.
But, you know, we all have that phase when we're younger where we, you know, buy fake swords from the flea market, you know?
Yeah.
You see that guy with all the throwing stars, and you're like, oh, I'll pick up a few throwing stars. Those are cool. And then you're like, why do I have these? Why do I have these throwing stars? I have nothing to add but that. And the first person he killed was with the katana. And he's like, his fat was like butter.
Good for him.
Yeah. Milady. But he literally has a katana. He slashes up this fat dude. He runs behind him and he says something quippy, and then he slices him in the back like, psh, nothing personnel, kid.
Bro, I didn't know that.
He's like, your sword, milady. Oh, it's hilarious.
This is crazy.
But honorable mentions. Do you want to go first for those?
I have a few. We already talked about Fast and Furious and
Yes,
Puss
we
in
did.
Boots.
Godzilla.
Godzilla, Better Call Saul. Oh, I'm going to do my X-Men Apocalypse shout out right now.
Oh, sure.
I'm shouting out X-Men Apocalypse. X-Men Apocalypse is the best X-Men movie. It rocks, and everyone says that it's bad, but they're all stupid, and it's actually the best X-Men movie, and I love it.
I disagree. I think Days of Future Past is the best one, and I think most people would agree with that.
No.
I think Apocalypse is fine. I don't think it's bad. I think it's fine. It's, you know, better than Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix is not good.
Not a high bar. Dark Phoenix, I feel bad for that movie because I believe it originally was supposed to be a 2-part thing.
It's a shame.
And it got smashed into one, which sucks. But, you know, I don't think it would have helped it too much, even if it was to.
No.
But still.
Whatever, though.
J-Law was not trying anymore.
No, she was.
Maybe it should be
Over it.
the X-Women. Wasn't that the line?
I think
It's
she
like,
really
let's
did
be
say
the
that.
X-Women. It should be the X-Women.
Yeah, I think that.
What a
Yeah.
I thought that was a stupid line.
But
But as far as all the X-Men movies go, like all the prequel ones, they're, I mean, better than the
yeah,
ones
they're
that
better
prequel
for
in.
sure.
You know, James McAvoy is a great job. I love him in that.
He's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else to say about those?
Not about the X-Men movies. No, I can't say that I do have anything else to say.
So what do you have to say?
But I do have to say that we talked about the Star Wars prequels, but we didn't
Mhm.
talk about. We talked about like the trilogy for the most part.
And Clone
But
Wars.
Rogue
too.
One
Rogue One.
and Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Obviously, Clone Wars is great. We talked about that
Yeah.
last week, I think. Rogue One is pretty good. That's actually one of my favorite Star Wars movies.
Rogue One is good, but I used to think the ending was really cool.
It's the best.
Now I think it's kind of dumb.
No, stop. I don't even want to hear your take on it.
I just think one aspect of it is really dumb, and it's when Darth Vader appears. But I have to tell you why. Because Darth Vader lives in like a machine mask, right? That he needs to live, right?
Yeah.
So what happens when he's in his machine mask? What is happening?
He breathes. Oh, so you're saying, oh, they should have heard him breathing before you put the before he pulled the lightsaber out.
But
who cares?
No. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that they should have heard him. It means he
held his breath.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Because you do hear him breathe before he puts he pulls the lightsaber.
So
out.
I'm saying he was holding his breath, going, "This is gonna be really cool."
Yeah.
I know. I just think that's really funny to think about. No, I just think it's because
it's Anakin Skywalker, bro. The dude's is freaking savage. He's gonna
You're
do what he
right.
wants.
Anakin Skywalker. Do you like Anakin Skywalker?
Is this a trick question?
I don't know. I don't know myself.
And no, not really. No. Does anybody? He's the chosen one.
Yeah, he is. He is the true Azor Ahai.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
When Darth Vader comes in at the end of Rogue One, it freaking rules, and it's the best scene in any of the Star Wars movies. No cap. That's my take.
I don't know. It's pretty cool. It's cool. I don't know. Again, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I'm not saying that it wasn't cool and wasn't like fun to look at. But I don't know. I guess I like, out of the 9 main movies, I like 2 of them. I like 3 of them, I guess I'll say. Obviously, you know which 3, right? So it's like, can I really call myself a Star Wars fan? How many people can call themselves, if you like less than half, can you still call yourselves a fan? Yes.
I think so.
But, you know, it's just something to think about. It's like, yeah, I dislike most of these things.
Yeah, tough look.
But what can you do about that? Do you have more to say about
Not
the
much.
prequels other than how they like get worse over time?
No. Are the prequels? I have a question actually. Are the prequels worse or better than the? Is the prequel trilogy worse or better than the sequel trilogy?
I think it depends. Oh, the whole trilogy is I
The
can't
trilogy
take
as a
movies.
whole.
The trilogy as a whole. Oh man. Oh, that's kind of.
I think the prequels are still worse as a whole because I'd say the prequel movies get okay. I don't want to say they get better, but the third movie is by far the best of the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
But the third movie in the sequel trilogy is by far the worst.
Right. Ah, man, I don't know. It's tough because I think obviously moment to moment the sequel ones are better, but the big moments in the prequels I think are better
Yeah.
than the big moments in the sequel. So it's actually that's actually a really tough question.
It is a tough question. I tried rewatching The Phantom Menace. Like I don't even remember how long ago, but I tried rewatching it and that movie is actually unwatchable.
I think I would have to go with the sequel ones then just for watchability.
Yeah, like I could watch
Like at least
The Force Awakens.
At least they're pretty,
and
The
Last Jedi.
Yeah.
But I can't watch Rise of Skywalker. I'll be honest. I can't watch that movie.
Have you
ever
tried?
again. No, I don't
Yeah,
even.
me neither.
Nothing inside of me wants to do that.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay.
No.
There's our take.
There you go.
I have one other.
Young Sheldon.
Not Young Sheldon.
I wrote it down just because I forgot it existed and I wanted to bring it to everyone's attention.
Shout out to Young Sheldon.
Shout out to Young Sheldon.
Blade Runner 2049. One of my very favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
They're on YouTube. You can watch them on YouTube, but they're also on like the Blu-ray
Yeah.
and the special features. It has 3 little prequel short films, but I'm specifically highlighting one of them, which is animated.
Oh, I thought they were all animated.
No, 2 of them are live action.
Oh, cool.
The animated one, Blackout 2022, I think that's what it's called.
Oh, that's coming up soon.
I know. Watch out. Is really, really good.
Yeah.
And it's like really cool. It really fills out the universe because obviously in 2049 you like hear about the blackout and you're like, ooh, what's that? And you see kind of like everything that built up to the moment of the blackout and how it happened. And it's done basically just like an anime.
Yeah.
Like the style of the animation and everything. And apparently because of that, you can watch that on YouTube. It's really cool. Highly recommend. It's like 14 minutes or something like that.
Cool, yeah.
It's really, really cool. There was supposed to be, at least there was a Blade Runner anime like announced.
Really?
They were going to do a Blade Runner anime and it was going to be like 10 episodes long or whatever. And they were going to do it. And that was like a year ago. I heard that and I haven't heard anything since then. I don't know what's going on, but I got really excited because Blade Runner I'm a huge like cyberpunk sci-fi dude. And that would be sick.
Yeah.
I would really enjoy that. But I don't know what's going on with that. But if anyone's
wouldn't
listening,
expect to hear news about it soon.
That's working with the Blade Runner. Oh, the thing that was really cool about it was the dude, like the lead development dude on Cowboy Bebop was like the dude on this Blade Runner show.
Okay, cool.
So it was going to be like,
right.
This is like the creme de la creme for me.
Mm.
But I don't know what's going on with it. So
I don't
very
expect to
sad.
hear about anything about it soon just because of the predicament.
Yeah.
But, maybe in,
I can dream.
maybe in 29 years.
Maybe in 33 years.
Oh, we're crossing the streams. I want to give a shout out to one last thing. Do you have anything else before I do my last shout out?
That's it for me.
I have one last shout out to any show, usually animated. I mean, always animated shows. Any show where they make a new show and all the characters are babies, like the Looney Tunes did it. They turn them into babies. They're doing it to SpongeBob. They're turning all the characters into babies and doing a show with that. They did it to Total Drama Island. They made all the characters babies and made a new TV show. Just shout out to those things because they're always great ideas. Everyone always loves them. Okay, the baby Looney Tunes one I think people actually liked. But, or if they do it backwards and, they do like a all grown up situation because they were babies.
Shout out to babies.
Shout out to babies in prequels.
Keep it up.
Keep it up, babies. And I guess, do we have anything else to say about prequels? There
No,
should be
bro.
more of them. Oh, I do have one correction to make that I'm sorry because it was kind of breaking news last episode. But the Fury Road project, the prequel, it's not going to be Charlize Theron. It's not. The reason I was confused is because I literally learned about it from her Twitter. But I think it was kind of her doing it so that people would know there was no like hard feelings or anything, you know. But originally they thought about doing de-aging for Charlize Theron because they wanted her to be like 20, you know. And they decided he saw The Irishman. And he was like, I don't think we're quite there yet. So, you know, he's going to be casting someone else as Furiosa. But I'm thinking, like, who is going to do it as well as Charlize Theron does it? You know, I had like one idea, and she's kind of been out of the spotlight for a while. And maybe Chloe Grace Moretz. She did like Kick-Ass, right? Which is kind of she was really young then.
I don't think she's tall enough.
I don't think she's tall enough. I haven't seen her in a long time. Has she grown? She was in Greta, right? I didn't see Greta.
I don't think she's tall enough.
But who is there that's like really young?
I don't know. They'll probably find somebody new.
Like I don't want to do Margot Robbie. No offense.
Ashley Tisdale.
No, no.
Imagine Ashley Tisdale playing.
And like Anya Taylor-Joy, I don't feel like she's a fit.
No.
Sophie Turner, not really. Maisie Williams, I don't really think so. You know, for me, Chloe Grace Moretz is like the closest I could get, and I'm not happy about it. When you're trying to replace Charlize Theron,
it's tough.
like, what are you supposed to do?
It's just not gonna happen.
You know?
Basically.
I don't know. And I know that Tom Hardy, when he did the first movie, I think signed on to a deal to do like 3. You know, so he might actually appear in that one. Maybe not as a lead role, but at least appear on it. But I don't know. We'll see about where that's gonna go. Dakota Fanning, maybe she could do it. Oh,
I kind of dig that.
That could work. I don't know.
We'll figure it out. Well, not we, but somebody will figure it out.
Hopefully, figure it out.
Yeah.
Then we could add that to the list of good prequels. That could become our favorite prequel of all time.
It's gonna be tough to top the Lion King 1.5, but we'll see.
I have something that I want to say though.
Okay.
About Charlize Theron, just because I have something.
Oh boy,
I'm so sorry. But the thing about her performance in Fury Road and why I think it's so hard to recapture, unless somebody just straight up told them this, is I think what made her so effective in Fury Road is if you took any other actress, not any other, but a lot of other actresses, and you put them in that role, how would they play Furiosa? She's really mean, and she's really tough, and, you know, she yells, and she's angry. And that's not how Charlize Theron is playing it at all. Like, she's not being aggressive. She's being defensive. You know, again, I'm biased, but yes. I really feel like it's like a motherly love kind of thing from her character. You know, it's like a mama bear protecting her cubs in that movie. You know, it's like a get away and I'll destroy you if you get near him. You know, it's anger and aggression that comes from a place of like love. Yeah. I don't know. I just felt like she's
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
She plays it great. She, I mean, it's like at this point, it's like an iconic female.
Yeah. I mean, Fury Road is Furiosa.
Yeah. Furiosa is like huge.
It should be Furiosa Fury Road, you know?
Furiosa Road.
I don't know. I just wanted to say that she's great and she brought a lot of depth to a role that could have been portrayed very simply, and she refused to do that.
Go Charlize.
Go Charlize.
Queen.
Anyway, that means we have our next segment, our most fun segment, I think.
We get to read reviews.
2 reviews, unless you have multiple. I don't know what you do.
No, I only have 1 this time.
Yeah.
All right. I know I had a lot last time.
Why don't you go ahead and go first, friend? Because mine's really long.
I don't even remember if mine's that long. It's semi-long. Not really.
Okay.
1 out of 10.
Right.
Should we do a Holocaust comedy next, or should we skip it?
The death of Stalin. Okay.
Millions died under Stalin's regime without cause, under falsified accusations. These people, as well as the victims of the Holocaust, deserve respect to their horrific fate. Making comedy of it is complete lack of good taste. Don't get me wrong, laughing to Nazis, communists, Americans can be done, but in exact historical context, it kind of tries to erase the horrifying truth of events and make the persons something that they were not. Or would somebody really laugh at the Holocaust? Laugh at innocent people being executed? It isn't really funny, isn't it? As it is true, not fiction. There are some funny moments in the film, but is such a terrible piece of work. 13 out of 48 people found this helpful.
I have a question. Did that person see Jojo Rabbit, and what did they think of it?
I don't know the answer.
No.
I don't know if they saw Jojo Rabbit.
I understand what they're saying, but it's like, you know what you signed up for. You know what movie you walked into. You know what I mean?
Bro.
It's like, I don't know. Is it a person's right to see a movie that they know they won't like and then review it badly? I guess. But it's like, I do see what they mean. I just think it's really dumb because it's a movie. You know, and it's not. I don't know. It's not like it happened a month ago. There is a time limit for these things.
Yeah.
Where eventually they become a little bit funny. I don't know. Jojo Rabbit was pretty good.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, it was again pretty good. Anyway, mine's really long, so kick back, relax. This will take a minute, and I guessed yours in the first sentence. Maybe you can guess mine in the first word. First word is cats.
Puss in Boots.
Yes. This is what this person had to say about cats. Cats, comma, closer in temperament to human beings than most people would like to think, were once held in high regard in some of the more advanced ancient civilizations. The Egyptians even worshipped them. Righteous religious zealots have often deluded themselves into believing that cats were somehow evil, and not just the morons in the Middle Ages. Just a few years ago, cats were slaughtered by the thousands in Romania. They were deemed demons in disguise by religious leaders. Here at home, witch hunting was likewise instituted when beachgoers at one of the local resorts noticed too many stray cats wandering the area. Though they bothered no one, the stray cats were rounded up and killed. All of them. But no sooner were the cats gone than large river rats began to roam the beach. These rats could be seen through the windows at night, scampering on restaurant tabletops and counters and running up and down the streets. The wise men who make the big decisions decided to truck in more cats. Puss in Boots is great fun, though the all too familiar storyline does drag a bit, and Antonio Banderas never looked better. The animation is state-of-the-art.
Never looked better?
Which can help make often told tales seem new and interesting.
Never looked better.
That's what they say. Never looked better. Also, the whole diatribe about cats being killed in Romania in the Middle East.
Bro, what planet is this person on?
I don't know. They have it's 10 out of 10 review, by the way. They really liked it. They really liked Puss in Boots.
Oh.
But, they just had to inform us that cats were once worshipped, and then cats have also been deemed demons in disguise and have been slaughtered en masse, and that Puss in Boots is memorable, and there's something here for kids of all ages. That's what they had to say about Puss in Boots. I had a great time reading this one because I felt like I learned a lot. It informed me.
Sure.
I learned that the title, by the way, is Puss No Wuss.
Nice.
I don't know what that means, but
Nice.
I thought that was interesting.
Nice.
Anyway, we're done with reviews, so that means we're moving on to emails. What's the email, Nick?
We don't have any.
But what's the email address?
Oh. thestaglerpod@gmail.com.
I think the problem is you haven't been enunciating, and that's why we aren't getting any emails. Is because
I literally spelled it.
I know, but I bet that people are like doing like 2 G's, or you went too fast.
THESTAGLERPOD @ symbol, which is Shift 3 on your keyboard. GMAI.
Shift 2.
No, it's not.
Isn't it?
Oh. Shit.
Shift 3 is hashtag or pound.
Shift 2 on your keyboard is the @ symbol.
Yeah.
Okay. Period. Maybe they're spelling dot.
Oh, you know what? That's a common mistake. Don't feel bad, guys.
Period. It's close to the M.
I don't
it's
think
right
your email
underneath
would have
L.
gone through to anything though, so that's a little bit confusing.
I
can tell you what it's definitely not. It's definitely not that nobody listens to the show.
What?
It's
We're
definitely
not popular?
I'm telling you that it's not that. It's definitely that they're just misspelling it. But guys, No emails for this. Do you have a question for me?
I asked you a lot of questions, I'd say.
I know, but just like any question. Like, doesn't even have to be just any question. Like, what's your favorite food?
That's a toughie.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite food? Specifically for breakfast. What's your favorite breakfast food?
I'm gonna get very specific with this.
Okay, sure.
The Jimmy Dean sausage, egg, and cheese on an English muffin.
See, that's hilarious because my favorite breakfast food also includes English muffins. I love eggs Benedict. You do English muffin, and then you do prosciutto di Parma. You put it in a pan just for like a few seconds. You fry it up. Put that on. You obviously butter the English muffin. Put that on prosciutto di Parma on the English muffin. Then you do a poached egg, and then you do hollandaise sauce on top of the poached egg. Delicious. It's so good. Do you have a question for me?
If you you're standing next to a train track.
Okay.
And
I pull the lever.
A train is coming. You're pulling the lever.
Of course
I haven't even finished it yet.
Oh, okay. Well,
the train is coming, and there's two paths.
Yeah.
On the one path, there is 50,000 strawberries.
Okay.
And on the other path, and that's the path. The strawberry path is the one the train's going on.
Sure.
But you can pull the lever, change the path.
Okay.
Where there's 50,000 blueberries.
Can you change it to something other than fruit? Like, I think I would go with change it to the blue.
No, hold up.
Okay.
Let me finish. If the train hits these, it's gonna scoop them all up and turn them into a giant smoothie.
Okay.
Which track you sending the train on?
I would have to send the train on. I might be wrong, so I hope I'm not. But I think I would do it to the one with the blueberries because I think strawberries. There's less strawberries grown than there are blueberries grown. So I'd want to preserve the strawberries. And
you want a blueberry smoothie?
I'm not gonna drink it.
Blueberry smoothie.
I'm not gonna drink this. You never said I had to drink it after. If I have to drink it afterward, then yes.
No, you don't have to drink it. I'm just gonna make you a smoothie. You're not gonna want to drink the smoothie.
You never said anything about me drinking it.
I just assumed you would. I said it's gonna make a big smoothie.
And I assume all the people in the train would enjoy it. I'm not on the train.
Oh my god.
If the train is scooping it, if the train is scooping it, then it would be traveling past me. So I would have to catch up with the train. I'm not that fast.
La la la.